winner for 2020. David Price Construction, the proud ECU Home Services partner.
At US Cellular, we know you have a choice of wireless carriers. And while the other guys may limit your choice of free phones, at US Cellular, you can choose any phone from any brand for free. Plus, get unlimited data for just $30 a month with 4 lines. US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
Now that life is returning to normal, we have found a lot of good things that came from the pandemic. One of them is not having to go to the wireless store anymore. The Cellular Warehouse team has been in the business of delivering phones to your home and office for 20 years. People found out about our free delivery service and love the ease of getting a new phone, tablet, or hotspot. Call Toby Williams today at 252-799-7051 so you can start experiencing the joy of never going to a wireless store again. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, pirates supporting pirates.
Hey, this is Troy D., proud ECU grad from the class of 94. And if you know me, you know I love the 90s here at ECU. It was some of our glory days, including bowl games, the Peach Bowl, and even a March Madness appearance. Relive those days with my friends from Tailgate Classics. Tailgate Classics is a cool retro store with all types of merchandise, including the 90s ECU vintage tees and hats. Check out Tailgate Classics in person, 304 Evans Street, or online at shoptailgateclassics.com. Tailgate Classics, bringing back the throwbacks.
If you missed Pirate Radio Live, you missed.
Last night was Jeff Charles's 900. You from
Kinston or Farmville?
Look, it's 10 minutes to 6. I'm tired. Okay, 977th basketball broadcast.
But who's counting?
Holy crap.
I told you.
Pirate Radio Live, weekdays from 3 to 6, right here on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.
Can you be quiet, please? Thank you.
The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
There's local politics, bud. I don't care about the weather. I can't control the weather. Don't want to talk about the weather.
Do we not agree? Sustained effort and violence.
It could be a total goat rodeo.
Cool, neat story. Was that supposed to be funny?
This is why nobody else can get on the Sug boat.
You know what? We couldn't get on the Sug boat.
It's a test.
What's the point of kissing his ass if we can't get on the Sug boat?
It's a test. Y'all are haters and non-believers.
Sug. Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
And welcome to the show. This is not Clip Brock. Troy D here, filling in for Clip today, who is off. Good to be with you. I'll be with you for the next 3 hours for an exciting episode of PRL. Joining me, producing as always, the lovely and talented Shirley Rhodes, also known as my work wife. Still together after almost 20 years. Actually, over 20 years if you count our former places we've worked.
Yes.
We'll see if we make it through another show.
I mean, you're not going to make it another 2 minutes.
Wait till you're introduced, please. This is my show today.
I mean,
talk when you're spoken to. Hold on. I haven't even had a chance to welcome in Chandler Honeycutt, also producing on the video side today. Good to see you guys.
What's up, Troy?
And look who else is here. Here's a guy.
In
studio with me that kind of looks like Chris Collinsworth a little bit with the hair. He's kind of got Collinsworth hair a little bit. You could be like a Chris Collinsworth if you were a little taller.
Yes.
Jonathan Ellerbe. The band is back together.
Is this live at 5?
For you old Troy D. and Ellerbe fans, here you go.
Not live at 5, the bald and the beautiful.
All right, so we're here. So we've got Ellerbe going to kick off the show with us today. Got a good lineup today, Ellerbe, as we on a tough day for me. First of all, Mondays are always kind of tough to begin with, but this is I've got
It's a tough day.
It's in a real tough weather condition league. There is a weather situation that I hate worse than any other, and it's cold, and then it's cold rain. Cold rain is the worst. Welcome to cold rain today. But I'm here in the warm confines of the studio, stuck with you guys. I mean, with you guys. Couldn't be any happier.
Yeah, let me tell you who's stuck.
So I don't care whether you're in your car, whether you're in your house, workplace, just crank up the heat, hang out with us. We'll keep you warm and happy. But we got
chime in, say hello.
Yeah, love to hear from you. We'll read your comments on our Facebook Live feed. I need someone to monitor. I haven't mastered the YouTube live feed yet. I'll have to check that. So if we get comments there. Also, Brian Bailey going to join us at 3:30. Bailey had a great Brian Bailey show earlier. We'll encore that at 6 p.m. If you missed it, it's archived on our online platforms. And talk to Skip Holtz, former ECU football coach, now in charge of the Birmingham Stallions, I do believe, yes, with the USFL. So great show. We'll play some of the highlights of that, too, and then talk to Bailey about that. Coming up at 4, Mully is going to be in studio. Prepare yourself, Chandler.
Son, that might be the stupidest thing you've ever said.
So we got Mike Mullis joining us at 4 p.m. And then how about our old friend David Glenn will join us at 5 o'clock. So we'll talk lots to talk about with all these guys. And look forward to a fun PRL today. We had a great weekend, Ellerbe. Saturday night with ECU baseball, kind of the official kickoff to the season. It's the annual banquet. I was looking back, some of my Facebook memories were coming up, and it was old pictures that we've been going to this banquet since they started it. And the kids were about up to our kneecaps when we started. Now they're almost taller than we are. But man, what a great job by ECU baseball, Cliff Godwin, the staff. Blake, all the guys that put that thing on, the players. It's just a first-class deal, a first-class program. And there's a reason that I think Cliff Godwin wins and is competitive every single year. And I think you see that manifested in that event that was Saturday night in the banquet, how first class and well done that is too.
Well, and I had an opportunity to invite my dad to go with me for the first time, and he really enjoyed it, and I did too. I mean, I think it gets better and better every year. The speakers were fantastic. Clayton McCullough and Connor Norby, and all the 3 baseball players current on the team that got up there and spoke. But really, when you think about it, Troy D., and me and my dad talked about this on Sunday after the banquet, or reflecting back of what an impact Keith LeClaire had on East Carolina University and how many lives he touched. And I thought it was unique that Clayton, who's the first base coach with the Dodgers, in his speech, he kind of wrapped up with a Jackie Robinson quote, and it said, "A life is not important except in the impact it has on other lives." And I really connected that quote of what Jackie Robinson said to really Keith LeClaire. Because when you talk about the culture of East Carolina baseball, of what Keith LeClaire did in a short period of time, cut short by ALS, of all the people that are just tremendous leaders in what they do in lives and coaches and in baseball and everything, and the connection all those guys have that had played during that era and then after the fact, and you see it with Cliff. And what he's done in his time at East Carolina since 2014, and I thought that just when that really resonated with me when Clayton brought in that Jackie Robinson quote, and me and my dad just went on and on about what a man Keith LeClaire was and what a legacy he left in East Carolina.
Well, if you look just at his coaching tree and you run the matrix of the guys that played for Keith LeClaire that are now wildly successful coaches themselves, and if it's not guys that are in coaching, they're successful in business or in life. Sometimes people get focused on the coaching tree part of it, but those other guys that may not be in coaching are just as successful.
And there's a lot of guys that are coaching little league teams, or coaching high school teams, or middle school teams, or t-ball or whatever. I just think if you played for Keith LeClaire and you were around him, or or being coached by one of his former players, that exchange of his impact and his legacy is just forever built, and it's just really, really amazing. And it gets back to the point of this baseball banquet. It is just an unbelievable event, and it sells out super fast now. So go ahead and put it on your calendars for next year, because it's a must attend. I mean,
it bridges
really
the
cool
gap of the past to the present to the future, which is really cool, which I think really Cliff does better than any other sport we have, as far as being able to capitalize on that and to get it where people can support that and support the program. I think this banquet is unique the way he does it. I reached out to the ECU folks today. I found out, you mentioned it sold out in record time, that it was sold out before Christmas. It's never been sold out that quick. 600 people attended on the campus of ECU. They've raised, the final numbers are still coming in. Of course, there's an auction with it, and there's all different types of ways people can donate, but it's going to be close to $90,000 that was raised just that one night for ECU baseball, that they can then use in kind of their discretionary fund for things they need that may not get funded otherwise.
Yeah, it was cool that night at the banquet too. They announced that season tickets have sold out for East Carolina baseball. Of course, the Pirates have led attendance in the state of North Carolina for 21 straight seasons. Their GPA is like 3.69. When you talk about a athletic program performing on and off the field, it's just something really to be proud of. And I know hopefully a lot of single game tickets will be available for folks. If you don't, you can still get in Clark LeClaire Stadium, so don't worry about that. But coming up February the 18th, it's going to be a cool opening day. Hopefully the weather a little bit better than today for you, Troy D, so you're not crying in your towel. But certainly, it was just amazing, the conversation me and my dad had talking about Keith LeClaire, and I ended up coming down to the studio and getting my book, Coaching Third, and gave it to him. He wanted to read it this week, so I just thought it was a lot of fun.
I had a chance to talk to some of the guys after the banquet. Great to catch up with Connor Norby, who was there, former Pirate, now with the Baltimore Orioles. He was in attendance, gave a nice little speech too, and I thought was pretty cool. You mentioned Clayton McCullough that was there, who is really the top assistant right now with the LA Dodgers, former Pirate. Older Pirates will remember his playing days here. I thought the interesting thing during his speech was he talked about, like, after his first year, I believe it was him that he said this, after his first year at ECU, he had a one-on-one kind of end of the year meeting with Coach LeClaire. And he was in his office, and he's kind of one of those things. A lot of coaches do this, and we do it in business. And you have end of the year meetings, and you kind of evaluate your performance. And he said he sat down in Coach LeClaire's office, and he said, "Keith," it was pretty soft spoken, if you remember, if you knew him. He said, "Clayton, you're the most disappointing player I've ever coached." And he didn't yell at him, he didn't berate him. But he said he might as well just taken a baseball bat and hit him in the center of the head. He said, as much as that hurt him. But he said he needed to hear that. I guess he was a wreck at the time, and it was at the kind of a tipping point where, hey, you're either gonna get your bleep together and be a part of this program, or you're not going to play here anymore. And
Clayton had transferred from Vanderbilt.
Yeah,
he went to Vanderbilt his first year and then came back to East Carolina because he really didn't have his bleep together.
He talked about what a wreck he was, and that he looks back at that point and that moment in his life where he really he said now that's what he needed to hear that, and he got his kind of act together from there, and look how well he's turned out now.
I could pretty much tell after his speech that all his bleeps are in a straight line. They're in order by alphabetical.
Connor Norby with a similar story, talking about after his first year having his meeting with Cliff Godwin, and Cliff basically saying, I don't know if we're going to be able to keep you on the team after what happened in his first year. And it was on the field, off the field, all types of stuff. And, he was a total wreck, he said, and he, got his act together, and look where he is now. I told him I had no idea he was such a wreck, like his first, like that was that bad. He's like, man, I had to water it down for the speech. It's way worse than people even realize.
Yes.
So, a lot of these guys, and credit to Cliff Godwin to giving him a second chance, letting him come out. Now he's a pro Pirate.
What kind of speech would you have given after your freshman year if you would have had a coach? If you would have been among 30, if you'd have been among 35 to 40,
Coach
men,
Troy D or young Troy D?
Or no, that you had to report to a Cliff Godwin or Keith LeClaire and have a meeting. Your speech would have been much similar. I mean, they have sat you down and been like, Troy, you were the most disappointing student.
I don't know if I would have made it after that first year to the end of the year meeting.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all.
But I'd say we turned it around after that.
We're all
right.
18 to 22 at some point.
Yeah.
And it's good that you have strong leaders and coaches that are able to, because these guys have high goal. I mean, Cliff's number one goal for every player, he had it out there. His vision is for them to graduate from East Carolina.
Yeah.
That's their number one goal. Number two is to win a national championship.
Yeah, above winning a national championship is to graduate.
So, he has to get them. And look, everybody could use some sort of leadership or advice, and there's a lot of people that come in and out of the doors of East Carolina, and it's nice that we've had good coaches like that to keep these guys on track. And look, there's been stories of people we know, players that get kicked off the team, and there's stories of that every year too. And hopefully they can go find their path somewhere else. That actually current situation where there's a player that's suspended for football right now that needs to get his bleep together if he wants to put his helmets and pads back on this fall, or even maybe this spring for spring football.
Yeah, and look, this is the first chance we've had to talk about it publicly with CJ Johnson. Look, we know CJ. We're friends with him. He was one of our Pirate Radio athletes. He's a great kid personality-wise, and he's made some mistakes off the field and some missteps, and unfortunately, it is where it's at right now with the indefinite suspension, and hopefully this is one of those fork in the road moments for CJ. I think this is the point where, okay, he gets his stuff together, and he has incredible God-given talents on the football field. I would hate to see those get wasted because of bad decisions off the field, and I hope he can get it together. Sometimes you need a second or third chance, but whether it's here at East Carolina or maybe at another school, because I think he has such great ability. I'd hate to see that go wasted, and I hope he can get his act together and develop into the potential that I know he has, and a lot of other people believe that he has, and it doesn't go the other way where he just drops out of football and never to be heard from again type of deal. But I hate it for him. It's unfortunate. Life is full of decisions, as Tony Collins talks about. You can make good ones or you can make bad ones, and this might be a time of reflection to say, hey, well, what can he do to improve his life so this thing doesn't happen again?
The key to what you said is he's just suspended indefinitely, so there are opportunities for him to get back on track and get in the good graces of Mike Houston and the East Carolina football program. But you can't have a guy, especially a guy that's going into his fourth year, this fall, Troy, that you have to have a standard.
Yep.
And Coach Houston's trying to build a program, trying to build a culture where they can maintain these winning ways that they enjoyed this last year. And I certainly wish nothing but the best for CJ, and that he can, get some things turned around, and hopefully he's learned from these mistakes and can grow and not do them again, and be a big asset to this football program.
Yeah. On a positive story concerning ECU, or at least an ECU alum, how about Harold Varner III? Man, first of all, this guy's such a great guy, and what a great ambassador for East Carolina. And he's been knocking on the door before with the PGA Tour, and he's had a lot of top 10 finishes, but he's never broken through. Sometimes it's that first one that's the hardest. And boy, yesterday, it was the Saudi International PGA Tour.
But this was on the Asian Tour, so I don't know if does this count as a PGA Tour victory, because he won the Australian Open. And
no, this is considered an international win, but it's not part of the PGA Tour.
Okay,
so it's not his first official.
This is his second international win, but he has not won a PGA Tour event.
Because he won the Australian Open. That was his first career win.
So it's still not considered, it's not in part of the PGA Tour.
No, it's the Asian Tour, so it's the international, Shirley was saying. Okay. But the good news is that with this win, it does help you on the PGA Tour, that he's moved up in the top 50 in the rankings, and if he can stay there by the end of March, he will automatically qualify for the Masters, and a tradition unlike any other. So that would be really cool to see him playing in Augusta coming up after the NCAA tournament in early April. Part
of the way he won it was just such a dramatic fashion. He had a putt that was sitting off the green. It looked like 80 feet away, and all he had to birdie it.
It was the eagle.
No, he had a birdie to tie to push it into a playoff. Right. So they thought he was just going to try, and it was so far away, it would have been a big deal just to get a birdie. So he hits the putt and he ends up making it, and it's an eagle. Here's how it sounded on NBC when he won the tournament.
He set the target. Now can Varner match it?
What a way to win the biggest
biggest tournament of your life. It's an eagle 3. Harold Varner is 13 under par and wins by 1, and Tommy Fleetwood is almost as pleased as Harold is. What a finish! What a putt, and Bubba Watson, to his huge credit, is down to congratulate the man he thought he might be playing off with.
So congratulations to Harold Varner, as working to get him once he gets back stateside on the show. So look forward to hearing from him.
I think he's had some media requests.
Oh, he's a popular. Look, he was a popular guy before this, as you know. I think this is taking him kind of next level now.
This will, I think, if he can stay in that top 50 and can play in these majors coming up, especially the Masters, which is the biggest of them all. That he's played in some of the Opens before. So, but I think if he can play in the Masters coming up in early April and do well, and be on TV Saturday and Sunday. We all know he's a star and so likable and lovable, but I mean, he could really explode even bigger nationally with a successful run in Augusta.
He's the type of guy that could be the hottest player on the tour if he continues to win as far as popularity, because, you think back over the years, Tiger was popular because he was so good. People love a winner, but he was never popular because of his warm, touchy-feely personality. He
was a robot.
Right. Harold is a regular guy, fun love, like just kind of people could relate to him. And if they get to know him, they're like, man, how could you not pull for this guy? So if he could win on top of that, the guy could be a superstar.
Absolutely. And of course, we've had East Carolina Pirates win the Super Bowl and do things in other sports. But I mean, he could really... And he's such a proud Pirate too. Yeah. I mean, the attention.
Wears purple on Sundays because of ECU.
I know. I mean, the attention and everything he's already given and provides for East Carolina is tremendous. I know it makes all of Pirate Nation super excited, and I know. I mean, Twitter world was going crazy. Social media was going nuts with that putt all over your news feeds. But certainly hope he can keep up the hot hand in golf, and as I said, be in that top 50 and get in those major tournaments.
The best tweet I saw was the cut that we played. It was with the final putt put to the Titanic music. It was, we have that on the Pirate Radio Twitter feed if you'd like to see it. I always love when they do those dramatic moments and then put the Titanic music behind it.
Very cool.
It's timed out perfectly. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but it is wonderful. Probably the best thing I've seen online today, next to our promo. I thought we did a great job in the promo.
Yeah, it was just tremendous that we were able to get it done in one take.
I know we did. We survived. We surprised all of our teammates here.
Yes,
you did that in one take.
Yes, that's how professional
exactly we
are. We still have it.
All right, so Troy D. Ellerbe here with you. You'll be with me for the rest of the hour, and then we'll be turning, get some other guests. We'll be turning your seat over to Mully. I'll tell you what, let's take a break right now. We'll come back. We'll hook up with Brian Bailey on our live line. Also, speaking of Bailey, I can't tell whether this is his hair or clips, but it looks like a dog has shed over here. Like, we're going to have to get them hair nets to work over here.
Is it gray?
Well, no, I think it's left over from Clip. But I'm going to have to get like a paper towel and wipe this down. Is Clip shedding?
Well, he's got a lot of hair on that head.
He does.
Well, the one person we're going to go ahead and eliminate from the hair discussion.
I'm not a suspect.
Is the host.
Yes.
Is the guest host.
I'm like, man, who is... I don't need Clip preparing my food with hair all over the place like this. I know that.
But when did you become CSI Greenville?
Yeah. And I've got a gripe, something that grinds my gears.
Something that grinds my gears.
I'll have to share it. And it involves one of you people. Somebody over here. And I have an idea who it might be.
Oh, no.
I was going to say, don't point at me because I don't care.
What could I have done?
He wouldn't dare point at Shirley.
We'll talk about it. Something Chandler did that grinds my gears. We got a lot more to go. Brian Bailey joins us right after this.
Uptown Greenville's newest dining experience is open and ready to serve you. The Sidebar, a Tex-Mex fusion restaurant, offers dinner and weekend brunch. Located at 707 Dickinson Avenue, right beside the DAP House, the Sidebar has indoor dining and patio seating for everyone to enjoy. For the latest information on reservations, menu items, and more, follow the Sidebar on Facebook or on Instagram at sidebar.greenville.
Pirate fans, the 2022 football season is going to be one for the record books. East Carolina is coming off a 7-win bowl season, and 2022 is shaping up to be even better. The Pirates need you to pack Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium this fall with a great home slate that includes in-state rival North Carolina State. The American Conference schedule features home games against UCF, Memphis, Houston, and Navy. Season tickets are on sale for as low as $125. Get your tickets today by visiting ECUPirates.com.
In studio with Jeff Stein from Brown & Wood. What's new, Jeff?
For 2 years in a row, we've been voted #1 in Greenville, so we're super thankful. For 2022, we've decided to make it the year of the customer. We're taking more COVID health safety protocols with some personal test drives where, you don't have the salesperson riding along with the customer. It actually makes them a little bit more comfortable, and they can take a drive and kind of go where they want to go and drive it how they want to drive it.
Brown & Wood, your #1 dealership in Greenville and the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
You know texting while driving is dangerous. That's not new information. Yet most people admit to doing it anyway. Drivers are 23 times more likely to be involved in a car accident while texting. Know the facts and wait to text. The danger is real and it applies to you. Auto Owners Insurance. The no problem people. Information provided by Virginia Tech Transportation Institute.
This is Jeff Gibson with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
Hey, Pirate fans, Derek Pizzeni from Carolina Wealth Management. Are you a fiduciary? That's a question every investor should ask their advisor. A fiduciary is an individual who acts in the best interest of a particular person or beneficiary. Is your advisor a fiduciary? You should know it's your money. At Carolina Wealth Management, we do things differently from other investment firms. To learn more about the benefits of working with a fiduciary advisor, visit mycarolinawealth.com. That's mycarolinawealth.com.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, Classic Cola, Cherry Cola, Citrus Soda, and Orange Soda. You hear that? It's seltzer with a pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Pick up some new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda at your favorite retailer today. Bud Light, proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989, and the official beer of the ECU Pirates.
Grow Rug 26 is coming to Greenville March 25th through the 27th. This is DJ Fussell from F3 ENC, inviting all men to sign up now for this leadership training event. The Grow Rug training events are designed to help men become high-impact men by reinforcing the F3 mission of invigoration of male community leadership. To register or to learn more, please visit f3enc.com. That's f3enc.com. Remember, you don't have to be great to get started, but you've got to get started if you want to be great.
Pirate Radio.
Give us a chance. We're going to be different. We're going to play with a lot of fire and intensity, and we're not going to back down from anybody.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. University PC Care has been Pirate Nation's go-to IT expert since 2006. They are the local tech support experts for any of your business needs. Let University PC Care take care of it so you can take care of business. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now let's head back into the show. Here's your host, Troy Dreyfus.
All right, thank you, Shirley. Good to be here with you today, filling in for Clip Rock.
I thought she was going to say Clip Rock.
No, she did good. That was good. Don't jinx her. She's doing good. There's Ellerbe trying to plant a negative seed there.
Well, during football season, she throws it back to the Bud Light pregame tailgate occasionally on this program. So.
I think you're doing great, Shirley. I don't care what Jonathan says. Mm-hmm. Keep up the good work.
She wants to kill both of you guys.
Yeah. Troy's doing so good in here, Shirley, that he's going to do the show for another 3 hours after it's supposed to end. So I hope y'all enjoy.
All right. Anyway, welcome back in. Let's go to the live line. Got Double B standing by. Brian Bailey, what's up, B?
What's going on?
BB. Hey, I saw Lovie Smith, one of the former Bears coaches, has been hired by the Houston Texans, which reminded me, Lovie makes me think of Chicago. Houston Texans makes me think of Texas, which is your team is Dallas. And then I just renewed my season tickets for the Bears today, and I saw we've got a game with the Cowboys this year.
That's good.
Are we going?
Is it in Chicago or Dallas?
It is not in Chicago. It is in Dallas. So how did you make the arrangements for this one? And then when we play in Chicago, I'll make the arrangements.
I got a better idea. You tell Ellerbe to write us a check, and we'll call it a Pirate Radio Experience.
There you go. We'll do a lot of social media reports.
The way Troy's using the word arrangements, I don't know if I need to get Wilkerson's to sponsor y'all's trip out to Dallas.
If I go to Dallas with Troy, you're going to make arrangements for one.
That's what I'm pretty sure.
Two go, one come back.
Yes.
Yeah. No, let's do it, Bailey. That'd be fun, man. That'd be a fun trip.
I got Melissa right here beside me. She's shaking her head. So.
Shaking her head, yes? All right, we're in.
Yeah, I don't think it's that way.
Why are you letting Melissa dictate everything in your life nowadays?
Hey, that's what that.
This is a business sports deal that you work for. This is part of your job right here.
Yeah, she wouldn't mind. She'd let me go if I wanted to go. I just use her as a crutch.
Did you hear that? If he wanted to go.
Yeah.
So which means you just got denied by Bailey don't want to go see his beloved Cowboys.
I thought you'd take me to the Star and show me around and, see what it was all about.
Well, I tell you what we'll do. We'll at least consider it.
All right.
There's a couple of trips I'd like to consider because Dallas plays the Tennessee Titans in Nashville next year. I'd like to consider that trip. I'll consider the Bears-Cowboys trip. So we got a couple under consideration. A lot of it depends on when the games are, what time they are.
That is true.
Our football schedule,
yeah.
That stuff. So.
I did see we have a home game against the Washington football team, the Commanders.
It's not the Washington football team anymore.
I know.
It's the Commandos.
The Commandos. So wear your appropriate clothing. We also are going to be playing the Texans at home and the 49ers at home. And the Dolphins, Shirley. How about a Troy D. Shirley road trip? Boy, we'd have to get, that would be a reality show right there. We'd have to get like the professional cameras to record that one.
See, Bailey.
They might put that one on MTV.
See, Bailey, if the Dolphins game can come first, Shirley will definitely kill Troy. And then you can take Melissa to the Dallas Bears game. So
I was going to say, if two go, definitely one's coming back.
There is probably not anything we could agree on. Because, like, we're such opposites on stuff. Like, what you like to eat, I don't like to eat. What you like to watch, I don't like to watch. What you like to listen to, I don't listen to. Like, we're like the exact opposites. The only thing we agree on is work and pirate radio stuff.
Yeah,
we're totally in sync here. Outside of here, it couldn't be any more opposite.
That is very true.
Yeah. That's why you're my work wife.
Hey, Bailey, great show with Skip today.
Yeah. Obviously better than this one.
I know. I mean, Troy and Shirley are talking. We got you on as a guest. But what was your favorite takeaway from Skip Holtz on the program?
It was just fun to talk to him again and think back to memories. And, when you write notes down for a show like that, you don't think of everything. And then when you're talking to him and something else will pop up and, him talking about some of the things like the Hawaii Bowl and some of the experiences that we had and Coach Rock and, it was just really neat to go down memory lane with Coach. I think he really, he sincerely loved it at East Carolina, loved it in Greenville. And, I think that I didn't ask the question, would you come back if it was open again? But I think he would certainly consider it if he wanted to get back into college coaching. It sounds like he's really excited, though, about the USFL deal. I mean, to me, it's fascinating, the whole USFL concept, playing all the games in Birmingham and, the first game of the year going to be on both networks at the same time, Fox and NBC, and all the games in Birmingham. So I asked Coach Holtz, I said, you got a lot of pressure on you because all your games are at home. Everybody else has away games the whole season. So I think I'm looking forward to watching them play, though.
Brian, how do you think the Spring League will do? You've had a lot of big-time folks try this before with Vince McMahon and the XFL, and you've had some really big-time execs and networks before try the Alliance League. They all failed, and the XFL's failed twice now. What do you think? What will be different about this one? How will this one not end up the same way? And the USF, we should say, the USFL has failed before.
Right. Well, I think a lot of folks are skeptical because of all those reasons you just listed. And talking to Skip today, Fox has put so much money into it, and they really want it to succeed. And they're not trying to be a developmental league for the NFL, although some players will go on to play in the NFL. But I think they're just looking to find their own niche in the springtime to have some football. And the USFL had a nice little run. The original did, and now since then they've had all kinds of issues with any kind of spring league. And who's to say if this one's going to work out or not? But they've got a really good lineup of coaches, head coaches in the league, and playing all the games in Birmingham keeps all the travel costs down. Although I don't know how that concept really works. If you're a New Jersey General fan and you never get to see your team, I mean, what makes them New Jersey? They're all in Birmingham. But I think they may look at that later on down the line. But it should be interesting.
Do you think there are any New Jersey General fans, though? I mean, these teams don't have any fans.
It's like the Washington General fans. They have about as many.
I mean, just right now, I can see their strategy of what they're trying to do because, it's just it's a made-for-TV.
Yeah, it's TV programming.
Trying to make a few bucks, and then maybe they can sell some gear and get some fans out.
Yeah, I think it's a work in progress, but I think, some of the adults that were around when the USFL did have its heyday and remember some of that stuff, the Houston Gamblers and the Birmingham Stallions and just all the names from the USFL. I think they'll sell some gear. I think the tickets in Birmingham are only $10 a piece. If you want to go see a game, with any team playing, it's only $10, and I think it's the children under 15 get in free. So it's a cheap date, Troy. So if you find somebody, take them to the Birmingham to the USFL.
Maybe some former Cowboys and Bears are playing on their teams, and y'all can go down for a game.
Could be. That might be an easier road trip for us, Bailey, than trying to get to Dallas.
Right.
All right, we'll look into it. I did think it was interesting. We're all Skip fans. We all love Skip when he was here and still like him now. There are some fans that are a little bit bitter about the way he left. I thought it was interesting. You asked, Shirley, this is cut 3. You asked, if looking back at it now, if he would have done anything differently when he left ECU and took the USF job.
Well, there's a lot of things that I think anytime any of us get an opportunity to go, hindsight's 20/20.
Yeah.
When you get an opportunity to see it. And I made the decision I did at the time to have the opportunity to be around my mom and dad, who my mom passed away a year and a half ago at this point, and have an opportunity to spend some time around her, and with my brother being in Daytona Beach and my wife being from Port Charlotte. It was a big family decision at the time. The thing I regret the most as I look back is what we built there in Greenville, and walking away from it, and get people like Terry Holland and the relationship I had with Terry and Ann, and having the opportunity to work with a man like that with the integrity and the class that he had and how he did everything. I think, I wouldn't have left. When you look backwards, but I know why I left, and when I look at the time that I had the opportunity to spend with my parents, the reasons that I went were not football related. The reasons that I left were family related, and those are memories that I can't take back. You know what I mean? Those are the times that, as I've realized, we only have our time with our parents or the people that are special to us on this planet for so long. And if that gave me an opportunity to spend a little bit more time with my mom in her final years, then it meant an awful lot to me. So, I think as I look back at it and said, you know what, I never would have left from a career standpoint with what we were doing there, but I didn't leave because I was dissatisfied in Greenville. That's not why I left. I loved our time there. I loved the people there, and I loved everything about it. It was a hard decision for me to walk away. It was a painful decision for me to walk away, and an emotional decision to walk away from something that we had worked so hard to build for 5 years. But from a family standpoint, it was a move that I felt like I needed to make. So, but it doesn't take anything away from the unbelievable memories we had while we were there.
All right, that's the voice of Skip Holtz, as heard on the Brian Bailey Show earlier today. We'll encore that at 6 p.m., also archived on all our online platforms. Bailey, we had this discussion last week on the air without you, with some other folks. And if Jim Leavitt doesn't choke a player in the locker room at South Florida, he remains coach there. That job never becomes open, and Skip doesn't leave because it was late in the coaching cycle. Everybody was kind of full. That created the opening that they went after Skip. If he doesn't do that, there doesn't become an opening. Skip's here at least one more year, regardless. You ever think about that, like how things would have been different if that one incident didn't happen and Skip stays here another year?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the weird things about life and how things, the dominoes fall. I do know that Skip, I think it was Syracuse that he had interviewed for at one point, and I think, part of the things that he didn't talk about, he really wanted to get into a Power 5 conference as a coach, and you can't blame him because obviously the money was much better. I do understand that was a different scenario with his family being down in Florida, and I think that it would have been at least one more year, if that hadn't opened up. And the weird thing is, the Pirates played South Florida and Coach Ellerbe. We had a chance to meet him, in that bowl game. So it is odd how the dominoes fall, and that's how whatever path life takes you down.
And then because he leaves, that it creates an opening in East Carolina. They go after, eventually hire Coach Ruff, who brings in an unknown Lincoln Riley at the time, who uses that opportunity to springboard to ultimately to where he is now.
Yeah, where is Lincoln now? I haven't heard from him lately.
I think it's Southern Cal, or is he at Arizona?
He's doing pretty well. It's funny. I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch the latest 30 for 30, but it was debuted on Sunday night, and it was the Tuck Rule with Tom Brady. It's 20 years of the Tuck Rule.
Yeah.
When that happened, that playoff game between the
2002, yeah,
between the Patriots and the Raiders, and they did. It's just Woodson and Brady in a majority of it, and Brady and Woodson talk about what would have happened, because Woodson believes they would have gone on and beat the Steelers and gone on and beat the Rams in the Super Bowl, and that he would have been a Raider for life and they'd have won the Super Bowl again the next year. Brady believes that if that Tuck Rule doesn't get called, that he's the backup quarterback to Drew Bledsoe, and his story's written so different too. So it's always fun to look back, especially locally, at the Skip Holtz thing of how crazy that played out. But the Tuck Rule was the same thing, and it was really fascinating watching those guys who were former teammates at Michigan talk about that game, because Woodson was the guy that hit Tom Brady that basically called the fumble or the Tuck Rule. So it's always fun to look back at these crazy moments in sports and play the ifs and buts and what happens.
And that South Florida deal, I mean, that was a risk. You're taking a risk because you got a popular coach and an unpopular situation, and so you stepped into all kinds of stuff down there. So I mean, it was a risk that he took. It didn't work out. He had some big wins at South Florida, but it didn't work out totally. And then when he got the job at Louisiana Tech, he turned that thing right around and had so much success, all those bowl wins in a row at Louisiana Tech. So, I mean, he's always had success, and I'm, the other question I really thought about asking him, I was going to, and it just slipped my mind, but I was going to ask him if he really in the back of his mind thought he'd have one more college job left in him, and if he was worried at all that this USFL experience, it could propel you to a new job, or it could, limit your options if you don't have any success. But he was so excited about the USFL, and the pictures that Shirley had sent me during the show that the Birmingham Stallions had tweeted out, they were hilarious. Of Coach Holtz and his gear and the flex that he gave. I mean, he sounded really excited about the whole USFL experience so far.
Yeah, those would have been two good questions. Are you interested in getting back into college? And if ECU was ever to open up again, would you look into that? Those are two great questions. We'll put those as the two best questions you did not ask, Brian.
There you go. Well, there were a bunch of them good ones I did ask. But
yeah, maybe with a few more years of experience in broadcasting, we'll get you there. We're still grooming you.
Well, yeah, and you don't want to ask, if the ECU job opens. Well, I guess you could ask that, because right now Coach Houston's on an upswing where, he might leave at some point, which we all think that's going to happen if they continue to win. But yeah, I mean, I think that's certainly one that he probably would answer in a positive way if he wants to get back into college. If you listen to the interview, though, it really sounded like he was down on college football a little bit. The transfer portal and the NIL agreements and some of that. I think that sparked some of his interest in this USFL gig.
I think especially, Brian, with I say older coaches, with these coaches that have been in it a while. I mean, you're not tremendously, any 50 plus, let's say. I think it does wear on them. I think that it's changed so much. You've seen, Roy Williams reference that when he retired. The whole way college athletics has changed. And a lot of it is through the transfer craziness. A lot of it is now with this NIL deals. I think these old school coaches, it's just, that's kind of almost the final straw for some of them.
I think some of it, too, had to be with Skip, with the way Conference USA has really dwindled down to nothing, too. And Louisiana Tech, Conference USA was rated by the American, and there's not many teams left in Conference USA. So I'm sure a lot of that had to weigh heavy on Skip over the last year or two as well.
Yeah, I think that's right as well. And you look at what's happened with the American losing the teams that they've lost, and then trying to restock their shelf, and the Conference USA, man, they were stripped bare. So yeah, that had to weigh on him with the whole situation. And as he said, when you stay at some place long enough, he was on his third AD, he said, and those athletic directors, they want to come in and they want their own people in because it's their job on the line. So he kind of understood the whole process, and it was, interesting. So he kept saying that they wanted to wake up in the morning and really be excited about something, and he was excited about this USFL venture.
I think Skip would make a good athletic director. What do you think, Bailey?
I think so, too. I mean, he gets along with people. He knows how to raise money. We saw that firsthand with the Drew Steele Center, with him and Coach Steele going out and getting everybody involved in that. So I think that he really, he could certainly do that if that's what he has an interest in. There's so many, levels to being an athletic director, so many layers, but I think he'd be a good one.
Hey, what did you, this is the first chance I've had to ask you this, Bailey. What did you think of the new team formerly known as Redskins, now I want to say Commodores, the Commanders? Maybe Commodores would have been better. What do you think of the Commanders?
I just think, and it's because I'm a big Cowboy fan. People can say, well, you just don't like them anyway. I just think they missed a big chance to do something with their history. I mean, I'm one of those I always thought the Redskin logo and the Redskins was more to honor, those people than anything else. But I get the fact that maybe that's not how they took it. And if you put everything in the bowl and say, okay, we're going to change the name, we got to change the name. Okay, I'm right there with you. Let's change the name. But they could have done so many, to have, to kind of share in their history, because their history is the NFL's history and it's the Dallas Cowboys' history. And I mean, it's all linked together. And I just think if they'd have gone with something I thought the Red Hogs would be perfect, because they had the Hogs for so long. Yep. And they could have made some kind of logo, or because I mean, what is a commander?
Right.
What is a commander? What's the look going to be? Right now, all we've seen is the word commander written across a jersey and a W on the helmet. And I think that they just missed a big marketing opportunity to get something that was, again, if you can't have Redskins, if that's been decided, that's fine. But they could have done so much better than they did. And it wouldn't surprise me in a couple of years if they changed it to something else.
Yeah, you never know. I do think Red Hogs would have been really cool to tie into their history and come up with a new logo and something different. No, there is no other team out there like that. But anyway, I did see someone post online last week. Well, at least they'll have Cowboys versus the Commies. The Cold War continues this fall.
America's team and the Commies.
So there you go. Maybe that's the rivalry renewed right there.
Bailey, who you got in the Super Bowl, Bengals or Rams?
I keep going back and forth. I think the Rams are probably, have more talent. I think Cincinnati, I like Joe Burrow. I don't think the event is going to be too big for him. So I'm going to pick Cincinnati, a little bit of an upset. But I think the Rams do have more talent. But I really don't care who wins it, but I hope it's a good game, and I like Joe Burrow, so I'm picking Cincinnati.
Bailey, what's the one food you're going to have on Super Bowl Sunday?
Well, I got to work, so whatever they bring to the station, I'm going to munch out on that, I guess. But probably some nacho chips at some point.
So you're working the whole day, Super Bowl Sunday?
Well, we haven't really decided. We're not sure. There's golf that day, and I haven't looked at the schedule to see. I know my man Garrett had to go out of town for something, so he's going to be gone. So I'm working Super Bowl Sunday, and it's kind of, it's 6 o'clock on Super Bowl Sunday with the game starting at 6:20. Not that anybody watches before, but they certainly aren't going to be watching at 6:20 when the game's getting ready to kick off. So we'll have something there, but we'll have post-game from the Super Bowl and that kind of thing on the 11 o'clock. NBC's got the Super Bowl, isn't that right?
Yeah, they do. Brian, you could do your sportscast at 6:20 Sunday, completely buck naked, and no one would even know.
Yeah, I may do it that way just to see if everybody calls.
Maybe one grandma or someone who doesn't know it's Super Bowl Sunday, but I think you'd be pretty safe.
Yeah, I think you're right. So,
all right. Well, good luck, B. We'll catch up with you down the road. Once again, the Brian Bailey Show coming up encore tonight at 6 o'clock. If you missed it, great interview with Skip Holtz, former ECU coach, current USFL coach of the Birmingham Stallions. That's a mouthful.
Birmingham Stallions. Yeah.
And then we have it archived online in case you missed it there too. So we'll catch up with you again. Thanks, B.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
Take care.
Hey, enjoy tonight. I know you got a big game tonight you're going to.
Yeah, I'm going to go see the Virginia Cavaliers and the Duke Blue Devils.
Yeah, Duke off their fresh stomping of the heels I saw over the weekend. I bet you there won't be any F Coach K chance tonight.
I don't think there will be.
Yeah, the Tar Heels might have regretted that one, huh?
I think they probably did. I think Coach K got them in the huddle and said, okay, boys, let's go to it. They did.
Yeah. Well, he gave them a lasting memory. All right, Bailey, drive safe. We'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Y'all take care.
All right, Brian Bailey join us. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll get ready to wrap up Hour 1 with Ellerbe. Hour 2 on the way. The Mully Band is here. Coach Mike Mullis alongside. Going to be taking your seat in just a few minutes.
He was at the ECU baseball banquet as well.
Yes.
On Saturday, so he can chime in on that and so much more.
Talk to all things Mullylicious. Came up with a new word.
Congratulations.
Mullylicious. All right, we'll take a time out. We'll come back. PRL rolls on right after this.
Hey, this is John Grillo, the Bagel Man. You know I love bagels. I don't settle for frozen bagels. That's why we make our bagels right here in Greenville from scratch every day. If you're coming into Bagel Man, you'll notice that there's some renovation going on. Our menu is bigger and better than ever. Our sandwiches, heroes, subs, salads, wraps, bagel dogs, fresh baked pastries, and our new coffee bar. Soon we're going to be opening for dinner. Don't forget Bagel Man for all your catering needs on Fire Tower Road in Greenville.
The icy treat that can't be beat is Sparky Snowballs. From big kids to little kids, Sparky Snowballs has been making smiles happen for over 20 years. If you're not in the mood to chill out with a snowball, Sparky's funnel cakes and fried Oreos are a perfect Sparky-licious treat every time. Are you having an event, party, or fundraiser? Call Sparky's to come on site. Remember to follow Sparky's on Facebook or visit SparkySnowballs.com to see where they'll be next. The Dickinson Avenue Public House is a lively and diverse restaurant in Greenville that utilizes fresh and local ingredients. With influences of Creole, Asian, and upscale Southern cuisine, the DAP House offers a seasonally rotating menu and a full-service bar with rotating craft brews on tap. Come to the intersection of 8th and Dickinson and enjoy $1 off drafts on Tuesday, half-price flights on Wednesday, half-price wine bottles on Thursday, and $1 oysters Tuesday through Friday from 5:30 to 7. For more details, check out their website at daphouse.com. NC.com.
Pirate fans, get ready for a winning season and team up with Quality Equipment, your local John Deere dealer and proud sponsor of the ECU Pirates. When you do business with us, you'll get things done right. We're proud to offer a large selection of new and used John Deere equipment, a fully stocked parts department, and a highly trained staff who is here to support you throughout the life of your equipment. So get quality done right before every ECU game day and visit QualityEquip.com.
While you're sleeping, our whole hogs are slow cooking over wood to create that bite that Eastern North Carolina is known for. I'm Sam Jones, and for more than 3 generations, my folks have been the torchbearers for what whole hog barbecue is supposed to be. At Sam Jones, you'll find plenty of smoke, but no mirrors. Everything, and I mean everything, is made fresh daily, including our sides, sweets, and sauces. Come on over and see us at Sam Jones Barbecue, and I bet you'll be able to taste our passion in just one bite. Sam Jones Barbecue, Fire Tower Road.
Do you suffer from allergies, asthma, or any other sinus problems? Perhaps professional cleaning of your air ducts could help. Family owned and operated in Winterville for over 22 years, Carolina Quality Air was the first certified duct cleaning company in Eastern North Carolina. From residential to commercial, they can handle any size job, big or small, including our studios here at Pirate Radio. Carolina Quality Air uses a sanitizer that kills mold in your ductwork and over 100 viruses, including the coronavirus. Visit them online at CarolinaQualityAir.com.
UBE and PirateWear.com is excited to offer Pirate Nation the largest selection of new ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young Pirates in to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kid store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking uptown in Greenville. Visit them at PirateWear.com. Go Pirates!
University PC Care has been the Pirate Nation's go-to IT expert since 2006. Unfortunately, many organizations today simply react to IT issues after the damage is done. This is known as the break-fix cycle in the tech service industry. University PC Care's Business Services Division has a better way, a proactive solution called BizCare. What's at your office? Call William at University PC Care today to schedule your free BizCare consultation or learn more at universitypccare.com.
Pirate Radio is the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Tommy's Express Car Wash. Come experience the difference at Tommy's. Now open at the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road. Doesn't your car deserve it? Visit Tommy's Express Car Wash today. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Troy.
All right, thanks, Shirley. Super Bowl coming up this weekend. We'll have live coverage of the Super Bowl here on Pirate Radio. Live radio coverage starting at, what time do they start now, Shirley? Probably around noon? Is it 2?
I think it's going to be either 1 or 2.
Okay.
I don't have the schedule right in
If
front
you're
of me.
out driving around, I talk to so many people too. They might go to parties, but they leave at halftime and they're in their car. So you can flip over on any one of our 4 pirate radio stations. Will be simulcast on all 4. 92.7 FM, Greenville, Winterville. You got 104.1 FM in Washington. And then, of course, our heritage stations, 1250 AM in Farmville and 930 AM in Washington. So we'll have a simulcast of Super Bowl. What is it? Super Bowl
56.
56. I was going to say 54. Yep. 56.
Tell us about Super Bowl 1, Troy.
56. I was at Super Bowl 20. And I've been to 2 Super Bowls. I was one with you with the Panthers. Mm-hmm. And then I was at the 85 when the 85 Bears went to the Super Bowl.
We've heard about that.
Yeah. Pretty awesome, as you might know. Greatest defense in the history of the NFL, but enough about them. Speaking about this Super Bowl, you were asking Bailey what he wants to eat. What are you going to eat for Super Bowl Sundays?
I always like wings, man. Wings are always
I thought you were going to go meatballs. I would have lost money on that.
No.
I would have said Ellerbe's definitely a meatball guy, wants to put those meatballs in his mouth.
Meatballs are good. Meatballs, wings, and nachos are, you can't really go wrong if they're on a menu at a party or just at your house in general.
Jelly beans? Will there be jelly beans?
No, it's not Easter yet.
Wow.
Not
that's right. They're not even on the shelves yet. They're not even on the shelves.
Yeah, don't even try and find red or pink ones for Valentine's Day.
Oh my God, that was a stupid question. They're not even out right now.
Next.
Ellerbe thinks jelly beans are only available on Easter for those of you.
You know what? I think we should make sausage balls a Super Bowl treat.
I think Clip Brock should bring us sausage balls on like Thursday or Friday this week when he comes back.
Boy, you better make sure his hair's not in them. As much as
that's
that's kind of stressing you out. There's like one hair. Just because you don't.
No, there's multiple hairs. I brushed one on the ground, and I found 2 or 3 more. Once
you could only dream to have those problems. Troy's like,
I'm projecting my jealousy.
He's getting all angry up here with hairs on the desk.
You mentioned the tuck rule earlier. I vividly remember that game because I was in Las Vegas with my cousins in 2002 when that was going on, and we were like kind of forming. We were getting that year. We were in talks about like putting we officially kicked off in 2003 that year.
Correct.
But we kind of put the groundwork together in 2002.
Late,
very late.
This was in early 2002. This was January 2002.
You're right. It was. But I remember being in Vegas, and I remember it was the Raiders and the Patriots, and we were at the sports book, and it was nothing but back then. What were they? They were probably Oakland back then. The Oakland Raiders.
Correct.
The Raider fans were everywhere in the sport. It looked like a home game for the Raiders in Las Vegas.
Raiders and Lakers fans are big in Vegas.
Yes, and I just remember going I think it was the guy that worked at the sports book that I was talking to, a waiter or whatever. I was like, man, this is unbelievable how many Raider fans are here. He's like, yeah, man, Raider Nation really shows out for this.
Was that John Gruden you talked to?
Yeah, man. You gotta remember it. This is 20 years ago. And I was like, Raider Nation. That's the first time I've ever heard that term. I was like, damn, that's pretty cool. Raider Nation.
Yeah, man.
And I remember coming back talking to you, and I was like, and at that time, nobody was using that like term. And I remember once we started Pirate Radio, I remember thinking about that. And I at first said Pirate Nation. Didn't sound right at the beginning. But then we said, we're kind of, Pirate fans are everywhere. They show out. I said, why don't we be Pirate Nation? And we said, we kind of branded the station as you know, as the voice of the Pirate Nation. Got a trademark on it and everything. And we're the first to use Pirate Nation. Now it's everywhere. But that, I remember that weekend, and I'm not saying that couldn't got picked up and started by someone else eventually. But we were the ones that started it here in Greenville and at East Carolina. And now it's everywhere. But that was the time at that game. I was like, man, Raider Nation, that is a cool term.
That's probably the only thing you remembered from that Vegas trip.
Honestly, you're probably right.
Yeah, man. The rest of the time,
it was a lot of blurry times.
It was Red Bull and vodkas, and then I remember.
I don't even know if they had Red Bull back then, because Red Bull may not be 20 years old. That might be a newer drink.
Wow.
I would say there was not. That was probably had to be gin and tonics back then, or vodka tonics. I don't think Red Bull. Let me go to my
Red Bull.
What do you call us, Chandler? The sports reporter guy.
He's our Google reporter.
Breaking news. Let me go to my breaking news cohort. Chandler Honeycutt. When Red Bull was invented.
Let's see. Red Bull is a brand of energy drink sold by Austrian.
Don't worry about the name. Just with the year.
Since its launch in 1987.
All right, so maybe it was possibly in Vegas then.
Man, if it had been in 89, would have just added to. Only Troy D can tell a story about Tom Brady and the Tuck Rule and turn it into his story. I'm surprised you weren't on the 30 for 30 documentary.
I know, it should have been.
I mean, they should have flashed.
Done like a thing where we were in Vegas.
They should have had. Yeah. I mean, Tom Brady was tackled by Charles Woodson, and you were in Vegas. I don't know how they didn't incorporate you in the 30 for 30.
Red Bull and vodka is definitely my Vegas drink. There's no doubt about it. And I'm considering a new summer drink. We were talking about it at lunch today. Budweiser has a product called Bud Light Next.
Yes.
That looks really. I've yet to have one. I should sample one on the air.
Tuesday.
We'll do it tomorrow.
Coming your way, Tuesday.
Susan Deans, who's already. We're giving these things away. I haven't even had a chance to get one.
She did not win this. She won the hard cola.
Oh, she sure did. Now this is a rage too.
This week we're going to give away Bud Light Next.
All right, but not next. Now.
This Friday, Free Beer Friday.
We're doing it now. Next. But Friday.
We're doing it.
Who's on first?
Yeah.
Susan Dean says, thanks, Pirate Radio, for my second free beer win, Friday win. I guess she's won multiple times.
Yeah, she won back to back in January and February.
Lord. Wow. All right. Those seltzers. So Bud Light has these seltzers now. I haven't tried these yet. They're like flavored cola ones.
You got a big Sunday ahead of you.
She said they taste just like soda, just a small kick of alcohol. I got to like supposedly it tastes just like a Orange Crush.
Sunkiss.
Or a Sunkiss. They taste like a Pepsi, but they have alcohol in it.
Yes.
It's kind of cool.
We need to get you loaded up.
I got a lot of work to catch up on.
You were talking about the Bud Light Next. It is completely
different.
There's no carbs.
There's zero carbs.
Zero carbs.
And only like 80 calories.
I said that last week on the show.
This is like one of the hottest.
I saw a billboard that said Bud Light Next, zero carbs. I was like, wow. And I told somebody, they're like, how does a beer have no carbs? I'm like,
it's like a mix between a beer and a seltzer. It's like this new drink. I don't know. I got to try it. I hear it's like the hottest drink right now.
Yes.
They can't even keep
We're going to be giving them away this Free Beer Friday.
All right.
Stay tuned.
Get one on ice for me. I want to. Or in the fridge.
Chandler, you're in charge of throwing an 8-pack in the fridge.
Throw an 8-pack in the fridge. We're going to do a taste test tomorrow on the show.
I'll do it next.
Do it now.
Now?
No, I'm just kidding. Next. We'll do it next. That'll be the next Bud Light item. It'll be called Bud Light Now.
Now.
We're even better than next. Why do we kind of come up with all the good ideas? So anyway, the Tuck Rule was pretty good. You said 30 for 30.
Check it out.
Worth it.
Watch it. And
it's online. I'm watching a lot now.
You probably go to ESPN Plus and watch it.
Okay.
It's probably on demand. I know you don't.
I watch very little live TV now unless it's sporting events. I don't really watch much live TV.
You've been telling us that for 10 years,
Netflix.
Grandpa.
Yeah. I think I'm like most people, though. I think the regular viewership of normal TV is going way down.
Most people are hoping they're not like you.
I feel I'm like most people.
Most people are changing.
I am like most people.
The more you talk, most people are changing their habits right now. They're like, I am no longer doing that. I'm going back to
How much TV do you watch?
I watch zero TV.
Yeah.
Unless it's a sporting event.
I think you're like most people.
Unless it's, I'll watch the Super Bowl this Sunday.
I'll tell you what I've watched very little of. The Olympics. I didn't even know the Olympics was starting until I was on the show with you guys Thursday. You want to talk about no fanfare this year. I don't think people care about the Winter Olympics. I think it's such niche sports, unless you have nothing to do or you're retired or bored, most people don't pay attention to the Winter Olympics. I think the Summer Olympics is a much bigger deal.
I was at Tiebreakers over the weekend on Saturday, and I asked to turn the hockey game off. I was like, can you put a basketball game on there?
Right.
I was waiting for someone to say, hey, don't turn the TV.
Chandler, you're a sports guy, right?
Right.
You follow sports?
Yeah.
You want us to do it for a living?
Yeah.
Fair. Can you name one Winter Olympian?
No.
Shirley, you follow sports? No.
Sean White.
All right. Current.
Oh,
he is a current Olympian.
That dude's still doing it?
Yes.
Oh,
This is his last Olympics, but he is competing.
All right.
Snowboarder,
Chloe
right?
Kim.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
they're
I
both snowboarders.
All right. Well, you watch stuff I don't watch. That makes sense. Remember I said I don't watch the Olympics? You watch?
Well, then what the hell did you ask me
Ellerbe,
then?
can you name one winter athlete?
Paul Smith.
Who?
See? I can just make stuff up. You wouldn't know.
Take us to break, Shirley.
You know the Smiths.
I don't stand corrected. I stand correct. No one's paying attention to the Winter Olympics.
Speaking of most people, Mully's up next. I wonder if he's a most person. He's leaving.
Oh, look, Mully. I said 4 o'clock. It's 4:03. Gee, I tell you what, you better stay on track with Mully.
He's got a union hours.
Oh,
man.
yeah, he's definitely leaving.
The opening ceremonies was less than half of what it was the last time at the Olympics.
It sounds like you're watching a lot of the Olympics.
I read stories about it. All right.
For a guy that hates the Olympics,
I know. I just follow it online.
You asked me about the tuck roll, told a story about yourself in Las Vegas, and then told us how much we should hate the Olympics.
Exactly.
And gave us all the stats on it.
Exactly.
Enjoyed being here.
Yeah, we'll see you next time. All right, that'll wrap it up for hour 1. Hour 2 on the way. Mully time coming up next. The Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of pirates and ENC. Open 7 days a week. Plus, the Buck has live music every night, along with football. The Buck has a brand new 15-foot 4K screen, the only one in Greenville, and over 18 big screens with all your college and pro action. Sunday Fun Day will also be stocked with the biggest Bloody Mary and Mimosa bar, along with the NFL Sunday Ticket and food trucks out back. Check out the Buccaneer Music Hall. Open every day, noon until 2 a.m., with live music every night, and now football and food trucks during the day.
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsay Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
Winslow's Deli and Tavern is open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch and dinner and the famous brunch starting at 10:30 on Sundays. Winslow's is located on 5th Street beside the State Theater with the best selection of beers around. Come eat, drink, and watch your favorite sporting event with daily drink specials. Winslow's is also taking Valentine's reservations, so bring your special someone for a fun evening on the town with an exclusive dinner buffet with seating at 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. For more information, visit Winslow's Deli on Facebook or Instagram.
There's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork, or online at greenvilleautoworld.net.
At Jersey Mike's, we take great satisfaction in getting that perfect meat slice. Yes. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Because slice to order makes a sub above. Alone, chicken, onions, peppers, and cheese have potential. Together, they have a purpose, a destiny, and a name. Jersey Mike's number 16 Chicken Philly. Because grilled to order makes a sub above.
At Union Bank, we understand you live life on the go. That's why our banking options are designed to serve you, wherever you are. If you want to meet us in person at one of our local branches, complete banking tasks on the go from the mobile app, or bank from your office with convenient remote deposit and cash management services, we're everywhere you need us to be. Whether you're simply managing a busy schedule or an entire business, we're right there with you with personalized service and helpful tools. Call or visit us online at unionbanknc.com. Union Bank is a member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Woo! Papa John's just took their fresh, never frozen dough and hand stretched it New York style. So you can fold it or not. Hang on, I fold it. Get a New York style pizza from Papa John's.
Hey, Pirate fans, the new Papa John's New York Style Pizza is a MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
Although innovative new resources such as digital media and social networks have grown in popularity, smart marketers recognize that printing is a mainstay.
We live in an age of computer hacking, scams, and fly-by-night businesses, so it's reassuring to consumers when they receive printed marketing pieces.
It exemplifies business confidence and conveys a high level of commitment.
It also fosters trust, which leads to engagement and ultimately brand loyalty.
When you're ready to grow your business, come to PIP, where business goes to grow.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Tommy's Express Car Wash. Come experience the difference at Tommy's. Now open at the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road. Doesn't your car deserve it? Visit Tommy's Express Car Wash today. Now back to the show.
Welcome back. Greenville Utilities Neighbor to Neighbor program provides help for those who need temporary assistance with their utility costs. And you can make a difference. Your tax-deductible donation can be added to your GUC bill each month, or you can make a one-time donation, and GUC will make all donations up to $20,000 each year. Consider helping a neighbor with GUC's Neighbor to Neighbor program. And a quick ECU football update, Troy. Stephen Igo just tweeted out just a couple of minutes ago that ECU tight end Brian Gagg has entered the transfer portal. Of course, Gagg came to ECU as a quarterback before transitioning to tight end. He did not play in any games the last 2 seasons.
All right. Had a gag joke, but I won't use it on the air.
Yeah, let's not.
Thank you for that.
Especially with Mully sitting right here.
Yeah, I know. You know how much he loves jokes.
Uh-huh.
All right, welcome back in. Troy D here, sitting in for Clip Brock today. Thanks to Ellerbe for joining me in hour 1. David Glenn, our old buddy, going to be here in hour 3. Look who's here in hour 2. The Mully man, Mike Mullis. Good to see you, Mully.
Yeah, bud. That's kind of like old times. I thought maybe Ellerbe may sit in for a minute.
He was invited. I didn't kick him out.
It's kind of messed up.
I thought he'd want to stay and hang out.
No, that dude hit 4 o'clock. He was
clocking in, clocking out.
As much as I was like, hey, we're running behind, he was like, hey, we're running behind.
He's like exactly. He's like a union labor guy. Yeah, when the time's to go, it's ready to go. Yeah. But good to see you. I hadn't done radio with you in a while.
It's been a little while.
I mean, you're here, and I'm here, but we're just not here together.
That's right. And that's not been by accident. That's been there's been some intent there. I mean, when we talk about gag, and I know I almost gagged when you figured out how to log into NBC Sports to the Olympics. The celebration. I hope you were watching on Facebook
because usually
Live.
Clip handles this, and it's what is it, Roku that we have,
and you get your kids at home to do the stuff, right?
Like, so then I'm like, well, I don't know whose account this is on.
No,
and then you got to re-verify everything. This is what I hate about Roku. You got to re-verify this, re-verify that, and then who's your provider? And then I couldn't remember. Oh my God, now I got to sign into that provider. There was like 8 different steps, but I figured it out, Mully.
You did good.
And I did it.
The celebration for the Super Bowl winner will not be any less dramatic than that. I'm sure you're expecting a ticker tape parade tomorrow.
Might be one of the greatest accomplishments I've had today.
Yeah, Mayor Conley, if you could pull together a parade pretty quick, Troy would certainly love to champion it.
Boy, the weather is nasty out there today.
It's ugly.
Yeah, this is one of my least favorite days, weather-wise, of the year.
Well, I don't know that there are many people that go, I love a torrential downpour and a cold day. That makes me feel good.
I can't hang out with those
people. Well, they live in Seattle.
Yeah, I guess so, because it's like this all the time there, isn't it? How could you live in this all the time and like be happy?
You just do what you got to do.
Yeah.
UV lighting, I hear, helps.
I don't know. I don't think it does. Did you enjoy the weekend? I saw you at the ECU banquet with the guys, Owen and company. I thought they did I talked about it earlier, phenomenal job with that as always.
Yeah, they did great. I mean, Blake Hardigree, I don't think enough is said about what that dude does. And I mean, that to pull that off in the way that Blake does it, with a smile on his face, and every time you call him with a dumb question or shoot him a text, he's happy to respond to you. Always takes great care to make sure everybody feels important. So yeah, that whole staff and that's a cultural thing, and that comes obviously from Cliff. So yeah, it was a great show, and we had pitcher catcher camp out at North Pitt High School. And speaking of another great show, Ryan Meadows and the staff out there, first class camp, and a lot of camps and clinics that I've worked throughout my lifetime is. There's a little downtime here and there where there's maybe a little lull in instruction. I mean, we're taking shorter lunches so we can get kids more information. So it really truly was a great baseball weekend, and not to mention my son Matthew had his 13th birthday party Saturday night as well. So Saturday was we had a lot going on.
What do you do for a 13-year-old birthday party nowadays?
You know what? You
just hang out at the house.
Yeah,
that's what my kids like to do.
They ate.
Yeah.
Our fridge didn't stay closed more than about 30 seconds consecutively all night. So, but they had a good time.
That's good.
Yeah.
I've got the twins are coming up on year 14 next month.
Yeah.
Hard to believe.
No, it's crazy.
14 years.
It's crazy.
Jeez. Speaking of baseball, the season gets started a week from Friday, and East Carolina. High expectations this year, Mully.
Well, I mean, say this year.
I mean, well, every year high expectations, but have they ever been higher than this year?
Man, I don't know how I don't know how you get them any higher than what they always are, and that again, that comes from Cliff. I mean, he knows where the program is and where the Pirate Nation expects to see the program, and I mean, there are great expectations, no doubt about it, and it's. Every year you look at how they backfill production that was lost the previous year, and what Connor Norby did along with Francisco and others last year was impressive, but. Going into the season last year, you're going, how do you replace the left-handed bats that you lost the year before? So that's Cliff. That's great recruiting and great cultivation of that talent. And we'll see. I guess they open up with Brantley
or Bryant.
Bryant. Yeah, I'm sorry, Bryant. And I actually had a chance.
I don't even know where is Bryant.
It's a great question. And normally I'd know that, like Bryant.
I'd have to look it up.
I'm going to guess they're in the north.
Yeah.
But let
me go to my what do we call him?
I don't know.
Who's my correspondent? What is it?
The breaking news.
Let me go to my
now, you cannot be a part of the group
right.
if you keep forgetting the title.
Let me go to my breaking news boy. Where is Bryant located? Is it Bryant University, Bryant College?
Bryant University is in Smithfield. Not North Carolina, Rhode Island.
Oh, yeah, coming from the north. That's normal.
Yeah,
that's normal. So I actually was with Coach Palumbo just a little bit ago, and I said, "Hey, what do we know about Bryant?" He said, "Man, we're trying to get the guys ready right now. We'll start focusing on Bryant as we get a little closer." So, I think he had mentioned that they had in all college programs, man, have at least one or two arms that can give you a fit, and so, but we'll see. Hopefully, the weather will be decent.
So, back to your coaching days, this will be what you call an indoor working day today.
Yeah. Well, today, luckily, Monday is their off day.
Yeah.
So they got a good one. But
and for folks that don't know, you started I think the first indoor baseball practice facility in Greenville.
Actually, probably there was a Grand Slam here at one point, and then Eddie Rhodes opened the strike zone. But to take it to strictly training, more of instead of a recreational
right,
kind of
where
deal.
It's not just
come in, put a coin in a machine, and go hit. We didn't do that.
Those are fun.
They have their place, but we were more instruction driven, and did that for a lot of years, and very proud to see kind of the tradition continue and actually be expanded upon with what they're doing at next level. I know a lot of kids. You go out to that camp this past weekend, and 150 kids running around, and probably 149 of them had on next level gear at some point. So but that's Greenville, man, and and that's people love their sports here.
Yeah, no doubt. I know you love golf.
I do.
You had to be excited about
that was cool.
Harold getting it done, breaking through. I thought so. We were talking about this earlier. I thought this was like his first. I swear someone reported it as his first PGA Tour victory.
No,
this is not considered a tour victory. It is a victory. It is a win.
Yeah, it's money.
And it's a big. He won $1 million.
Yep.
for winning this, but it is not considered a PGA Tour win.
No, because it wasn't the PGA Tour, it's the Asian Tour. But I mean, you had in that field some pretty big names, and I think Dustin Johnson was there, and Phil Mickelson was there, and those events over there. There's this group out of Saudi that's really pushing hard to start almost like a super tour where they're going to pay these dudes a crazy amount of money. I mean, money's not a problem there when your police department drives Lamborghinis, but that was kind of what you had there. I think total purse of that event was like $5 million, and what they were paying guys to come over. But no, a 92-footer to make an eagle to win it is something that clearly
is that what it was? I thought it was around 80 feet, but 92 feet. It was incredible.
That's what they said.
And at the time, they thought he was just if he could force a playoff, it would have been a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, because what Bubba did coming down, the last two holes was really impressive, and basically Harold one-upped them. So, it's really cool. I thought the reaction by Bubba, said a lot about what the guys on tour think of Harold. There was video of them afterwards going to dinner and spending time together, and Bubba was clearly happy for him. And, of course, Bubba, my guess is, I don't know this for a fact, my guess is Bubba probably got about what Harold won in an appearance fee plus whatever his winnings were. Right. So this is one of those situations where everybody's a winner. Yeah. Instead of a participation trophy, you get $1 million check.
Right.
So, I mean,
not a bad day.
Not a bad day for anybody. So, but a really cool deal there for HV3.
Well, I was just happy for him. He's such a great guy, such a great ambassador for East Carolina University.
Nobody loves this place more than he does.
He is a huge Pirate fan.
And what's funny to me with Harold is he embodies East Carolina from the standpoint of he goes out, works hard at his craft, but he is not afraid to enjoy some libations.
You're right.
He's
one of us. He's a regular guy.
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, it is on the shell or on the facade matches the interior. I mean, he's
works like a captain, party like a pirate.
Yeah, he's definitely that dude.
Yeah, no doubt. Football, you ready for Super Bowl? Who you like?
I guess. I like Burrow, so I hope the Bengals win it. I just think he's a cool story. I mean, a dude that came from absolutely nowhere to make himself, give himself a chance to be in this position. That's what every coach talks about, right? Hey, you work hard, you do the right things, you put yourself in a position to have success, and now you've got somebody that you can point to directly and say, hey, here's a guy that did it. So, it's a great story. I don't dislike the Rams. I think Stafford's got a lot of pressure on him, though. I mean, he's, the trade and trading him for golf and all these things that took place. The story's going to be the defensive line for the Rams. If they can beat Burrow up pretty good, it could make a long night for the Bengals, but we'll see. We've also seen Burrow get sacked 9 times and win a playoff game. So, who knows?
I think last time I checked, Cincy was still a 4.5-point underdog. Let me go to my breaking news boy. Is that still accurate?
We got to get you some new material, Troy.
You got to get him to learn how to.
You say what now?
Poor Chandler. What's the spread in the Super Bowl?
The spread I have, Cincy's still an underdog by 4.5.
Let's see.
I was just seeing if that, it is a fluid situation. I was just seeing if it had changed at all.
It has gone down. You said 4.5?
I had it at 4.5.
It's gone down 0.5 point at 4.
So it's at 4 now.
Yeah.
Right.
Rams the favorite, obviously.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that. Yeah, I kind of like the Bengals with 4.
Would you take it?
Yeah.
I'm
I would too. I like the Bengals to win outright, but I definitely love the 4.
Yeah, I mean the 4. I mean, because I very easily see this game being a field goal game, and I very easily see it being. There was a lot of fanfare for the kicker from the Rams when he kicked the big one and made the he had the walk off and whatever else, and so it'd be kind of interesting to see. Put himself back in that position. I'll be curious to see how that shakes out.
Home game for the Rams, although this is one of those weird games because the tickets are allotted so different for the Super Bowl. Not right. Probably be, even though it's their home field, almost a neutral atmosphere.
I mean, and so many of those are corporate tickets. You know, I mean, it's not a rabid fan base is going to go spend $25,000 to go to a football game.
It's crazy.
So there's I've got a couple of really good buddies that are Cowboys fans. I thought this was funny. There was a kind of a meme of a letter from the NFL that came out that said they were tired of the home games. These teams having home games. Tampa had one last year, so
it's back-to-back years.
So they decided to host it in Dallas
every year.
That way, you don't have to worry about a home team playing in it. I thought that was pretty classic.
Looks very official too.
Yeah, with the letterhead.
Yeah.
Same thing could be said for Soldier Field though.
currently. I mean, hopefully things are getting ready to change. Got a new regime over there.
Yeah.
I think the whole North could be if your buddy retires.
He won't retire, but he's going somewhere.
If he hits the transfer portal,
he's going into the transfer portal.
We just need him to get out of there.
Yeah,
and then we'll be good to go. And then I think that we've already rated a coach or two from the Packers.
That's the mentality you want to have as a fan. Is all we need is this. We don't need to get better. We just need somebody to get a little worse, and then we can slide right on by.
That is true, because I think we'll get better. We being the Bears, and then I think the Packers could get worse.
I think that's inevitable.
Aaron Rodgers is to leave.
Yeah, he's gone,
and that puts them in a little bit. Evens the playing field. I don't think the Vikings are necessarily world beaters, and the Lions are the Lions. So I think that division would be up for grabs, is what I'm saying, if Rodgers was to leave.
Yeah.
Would you disagree?
No. It's still just how bad can the Bears be? It's up to them.
I think they've hit rock bottom, and it's up from here.
Well,
I think with this new regime. And
who's the new head coach?
It is Matt Eberflus.
Again, who's the new?
Well, he's got to prove himself.
That's a bit of a crapshoot.
Well, it is, but I'll take that versus the guy that was there and the GM that was there that was making the horrible decisions to begin with.
Go ahead, breaking news guy. What you got?
No, I was just going to say you could have gone with old familiar face with Lovie Smith.
Yeah, well, I loved Lovie. I thought he shouldn't have gotten fired when he did, and that led to the downfall. They really hadn't been great since then, if you think about it. Lovie got him to the Super Bowl. People forget that.
You know what? And I know obviously there's a lot of political stuff going on with Brian Flores, but why in the world has nobody hired that guy? Look what he did in Miami. It's
he had 8 straight wins this year.
It's unbelievable.
I think now he's damaged goods because of this lawsuit. I think, scorched earth kind of policy, but I think he was doing a great job as a coach. It seemed like he had a falling out with the general manager.
Yeah, I kind of maybe see it the other way. I think it could be a great opportunity for an organization to say, hey, we're going to stand behind this and we trust this guy. And it's kind of, I think it's kind of in the eye of the beholder. But the dude is, before I hire Lovie Smith, I'm hiring Brian Flores.
He was in the talks to be
I thought he was going to get that job. I really did.
I did too. And then there's only one more team in the NFL that hasn't hired a coach. That's the Saints. So they're still waiting to get their head coach in there. But Brian Flores, the Giants had a chance to hire this guy.
And Troy may be right. It may be they don't want the stigma attached with it. Which is so funny to me is that they'll still, if he's a player. If there's a player convicted of or accused of rape, multiple counts of something bad, we'll still put the player out there.
Yeah.
But this dude's standing up for what he believes, and everybody's kind of going, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, this mistake by the Giants happened before the lawsuit, and in fact, it might be the reason why he's come out with this lawsuit.
The Bill Belichick.
The Bill Belichick text.
Well, I'm just saying, are they afraid if we don't hire him that we'll be brought in this lawsuit? I'm just
just don't interview him.
Right. I'm just projecting a what if.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that's the case. I
got what you're saying. So, you're saying the easiest way to
avoid it
is just to avoid it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. Now, I'm curious to see how this lawsuit goes.
Right.
Will it go forward?
Well, what are they going to do with Ross in Miami? If it comes out that he's paying a dude or willing to pay,
I think that's so damning that you end up with like a Jerry Richardson situation.
He's got to sell the franchise.
Yeah, because to me, that's even worse than anything Jerry Richardson did. Jerry Richardson just made some stupid off the field stuff and uncomfortable folks in the workplace. He didn't change the outcome of games.
Right. And this is
like, the integrity of the game itself, Mully.
This isn't a perfect world or whatever. But I would have loved to have seen Brian Flores make that part of this deal more public before it became sour grapes, or the appearance of sour grapes.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that though. I think once you make that public, you're going full blast.
Oh no, scorched earth, as I call it. At some point, he did clearly work for the owner of the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
But the hierarchy is that also the NFL. If you go to somebody in the league office and say, "Hey man, I just want to make you wear this. I don't know how we need to handle this, but dude's wanting to pay me $100,000." If it came out about the bounty gate,
and did he? Who knows? I don't know.
Well, they said there's one other person that has firsthand knowledge of this
Yeah,
those
maybe
statements.
he did and they ignored it. Who knows? But I think maybe that's where all this stuff comes out in the lawsuit if it goes to trial.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I hope it doesn't get so far downstream that he becomes the martyr. I would like to see him. The way he goes about his business and I heard, he made a statement, or somebody made a statement on his behalf that if you want hugs, I'm not the guy, but if you want to win football games, we can do that. And I respect that.
It seems like he got a raw deal with the Dolphins. I don't know what happened with the whole Giants interview situation, but he had the Dolphins towards the end of last season going in the right direction.
No question about it.
So
well, apparently there was a story that came out that there was they bumped heads on a quarterback situation. There was a quarterback that Steve Ross was wanting to bring in and introduce to Brian Flores. That's when he invited him on a yacht for lunch. And then when Brian Flores got there, Steve Ross said, "Hey, this quarterback that I want on our football team is going to join us." And then Brian Flores got up and left and said, "No, I don't want this guy in here." So I think it kind of maybe sparked from that kind of controversy there.
Well, basically, it did start with the fact that Stephen Ross reportedly told Flores, "Tank the games. I'll pay you $100,000 for every loss that you have." And when he started winning games, Ross got upset because it was going to affect their draft position.
Yeah.
And then the second part of that was a meeting with initially they called it a high profile quarterback, but they thought it was Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
It turns out it was Tom Brady. And so there was the issue there.
No, they thought it was Tom Brady, and it came out to be Deshaun Watson.
No, well, okay. Well, either way, neither one of them were free agents or anything like that. So technically, it was tampering. And Flores didn't want any part of that, especially after Ross just kind of conveniently said, "Hey, so-and-so has just arrived in the marina, so he's going to stop by for lunch." Flores was like, "No, I don't want to be any part of that," and just up and left, and that basically soured the relationship between Ross and Flores.
And Mully, you got, so we'll see where that lawsuit goes. Let's not forget, you've got Gruden's lawsuit that's out there. It's kind of been quiet lately, but eventually all that stuff's going to come to light, and who knows what's in all the documentation there and all the dirty laundry that gets brought to light from the Redskins, potentially from the Raiders and other people involved that are going to get caught in this crossfire.
Yeah, it's sport in general is at a really weird place, be it college athletics, be it the NFL. Major League Baseball can't figure out what they want to do. The NBA's got dudes that are making, tens of millions of dollars that are just basically laying down because they don't want to play for who they're playing for. I mean, come on. When does it stop? And who's holding the ultimate, I guess, trump card or the power here? I don't know, but it is crazy to see. Maybe we can get a better league with the USFL and with, who knows?
Shirley, take us a break. We're at halftime of hour 2 here as Mike Mullis joins us in studio. Mully, did you see any of the Clash at the Coliseum yesterday by any chance? NASCAR. It was the preseason race for NASCAR. It's pretty cool.
Clearly, I missed it.
They had
I bet they made a lot of left-hand turns.
They did a lot. They went to the LA Coliseum and laid a track in there where the Trojans play football. It's pretty cool. I'll have to show it to you.
Cool.
We'll talk about that and a lot more when PRL rolls on right after this.
In studio with Jeff Stein from Brown & Wood. What's new, Jeff?
Everybody's thinking we're having some inventory issues in the car business, which some of it's true. For used vehicles, Brown & Wood has a lifetime powertrain on every vehicle you buy from us, new or used. So even when you buy a used vehicle from Brown & Wood, you have lifetime powertrain. We cover the engine, transmission for as long as you own the car.
Brown & Wood, your #1 dealership in Greenville and the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
Hello, Eastern North Carolina. If you're looking for a great place to work with competitive pay and advancement opportunities, Pitt County Schools is hiring. We employ over 3,000 people, and we're one of the largest employers in Pitt County. Pitt County Schools is currently seeking teachers, bus drivers, school nutrition personnel, facility staff, custodians, clerical staff, and more. We offer advanced leadership opportunities for our educators and competitive pay for our skilled labor force. Come work for a diverse, thriving school system and be an important part of ensuring success for the students of Pitt County who are the future of Eastern North Carolina. To fill out an application, visit our website today at pittschools.org. That's pittschools.org. Or go directly to our job postings at bit.ly/PCS employment. That's bit.ly/PCS employment. Pitt County Schools, engaging, empowering, and elevating every student and every staff member every single day.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, Classic Cola, Cherry Cola, Citrus Soda, and Orange Soda. You hear that? It's seltzer with a pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Pick up some new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda at your favorite retailer today. Bud Light, proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989, and the official beer of the ECU Pirates.
Be sure to check out David Price Construction for all of your commercial or custom residential renovation and building needs. Run by ECU alumni, David Price Construction specializes in commercial projects, maintenance on facilities, and large-scale residential renovations and additions. Proud to be voted the Remodeler of the Year by the Home Builders Association of Raleigh-Wake County in 2018 and Best Business Commercial Remodel Project winner for 2020. David Price Construction, the proud ECU Home Services partner.
Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville is the perfect place to get all your amigos together for some Mexican food, fun, and football. Chico's has been a game day tradition for Pirate football fans for over 30 years. Whether the game is home or away, make it a Chico's Day for some great specials and the best chips and salsa in town. Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville and online at chicosrestaurant.com. Go Pirates!
At US Cellular, we know you have a choice of wireless carriers. And while the other guys may limit your choice of free phones, at US Cellular, you can choose any phone from any brand for free. Plus, get unlimited data for just $30 a month with 4 lines. US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
Now that life is returning to normal, we have found a lot of good things that came from the pandemic. One of them is not having to go to the wireless store anymore. The Cellular Warehouse team has been in the business of delivering phones to your home and office for 20 years. People found out about our free delivery service and love the ease of getting a new phone, tablet, or hotspot. Call Toby Williams today at 252-799-7051 so you can start experiencing the joy of never going to a wireless store again. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
This is Coach Steve Shankweiler, offensive line coach for East Carolina University football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
This hour of PRL is brought to you by Tommy's Express Car Wash. Come experience the difference at Tommy's. Now open at the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road. Doesn't your car deserve it? Visit Tommy's Express Car Wash today. Now back to the show.
Welcome back. Do you have real estate questions about buying or selling residential or commercial property? Are you curious about this current real estate market, or do you need a property manager for rental houses? ECU alum Scott Harris with RE/MAX and SD Harris Properties can help answer every question you have and show you a stress-free real estate experience that'll be memorable and enjoyable. If you have real estate questions, Scott has answers. Call Scott Harris today at 347-1857. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Troy.
All right, thank you, Shirley. Troy Day filling in for Clip Brock today. Thanks for tuning in wherever you might be. On Pirate Radio, one of our 4 radio stations, or perhaps online on Facebook Live or YouTube Live, or on the TuneIn app, or perhaps on PR, or on
Yep.
I was getting ready to say our website,
PR927fm.com.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say. Thank you. I got all these numbers in my head and they get all mumbled up sometimes. Mully in for hour 2. Mully, we were talking about the worst of the weekend during the break. I guess we haven't even talked about it. This was so bad. We're an hour and a half into the show. We haven't even brought it up yet. Usually we'd be leading with this if they had won. But they lost. They lost bad. ECU basketball. It got smoked.
Our watch-along was fun, though.
At Tulane. Your watch-along was more exciting than the game.
Look, when the game is going on like it has been the past 4 or 5 games for ECU basketball, you've got to create your own energy.
Mully, the team has not been right. You can point to the moment Brandon Suggs went down. The team has fallen to pieces ever since. It has yet to win a game, and even was winning at that moment big time, and they fell apart in that game.
Yeah, I know Coach Dooley and his staff have to be just like, what's next? And you hate to even ask that in today's time. Every time we've asked as a society what's next, we get hit in the face with something.
Yeah, don't ask.
Yeah, so I'm sure Coach Dooley and staff are going, man, what do we have to do? So promising out of the gate, so promising, 10 straight wins at home, all the great things that are going on, and then tell it 2 seasons.
Then you got Pirates back at it against Tulsa. It's going to be like a night game. I think it's around 8 or 9 o'clock tip off our time coming up tomorrow night, and then back home Saturday against SMU. So this has been a long road trip. They never came back since being at Tulane, so they'll be on the road for 5 straight days. So how do you think they'll do, guys, against Tulsa after a long extended trip like this?
Who knows? Literally, who knows? When you have teams like this that are this kind of unpredictable, just when you think, then they go out and play great.
Yeah.
We just don't know.
We need the Sugboat back.
Don't look at me. I'm not on it.
When will the Sugboat sail again?
What's his timetable?
Every time I ask, we don't get a real definitive answer. Maybe they're holding him for the tournament at this point.
He's not. Yeah, it's not a Friday night pitcher. We need to get him out there. Let him run around a little bit.
All right, so that's ECU basketball not going so great right now. Another event. I did not watch any of this over the weekend. I don't know if you guys did. It just has zero interest to me. The Pro Bowl.
I don't even know why they play that game. I don't even know why they have that event, because even the stuff midweek, when you're looking at like grown men, professional athletes playing dodgeball,
the skills competition.
That's different. At least that's okay. But dodgeball, these dudes are playing dodgeball.
They're playing Madden.
Yeah, watching people play Madden. I just don't get it.
And then the game itself. Was
awful.
Just the half-assing and every
Deion Sanders came out and spoke out about it. He was like, "Man, just put them in flags, play flag football.
Flag football.
Let's just move on." But quite frankly, I wouldn't even have the event. Name the team, away you go. And the ratings for that cannot be.
It's got to be terrible.
It cannot be very good.
I saw this guy
just make it the skills challenge and be done.
This guy posted this online today. Said instead of the Pro Bowl, take the 2 teams with the worst records in the league. That would be the Jaguars and the Lions this year. Let them play one game to determine the number 1 pick overall in the NFL draft. The team that wins gets the first pick. Figure that'd be much more competitive game over the Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
now that'd be something to watch right there. Your 2 worst teams fighting it out for the first round pick.
Yeah,
so you're losing the whole year to get that pick, but then you have to win at the end of the year.
Right.
But the competitiveness level will just skyrocket to what we're watching now with the Pro Bowl.
Well, would it? What's the difference between the number 1 overall pick, having the number 1 overall pick, or the number 2 pick?
Well, it depends.
If you need a quarterback,
it depends who the player is.
And that number 1 quarterback's there.
Well, this year it doesn't matter,
right? But I
don't know. I don't know how you fix it.
Is there a consensus number 1 pick right now for the NFL draft?
I think it's the defense.
Like last year,
from Michigan,
defensive lineman from Michigan.
Trevor Lawrence was,
Hutchinson or something.
So he's the consensus number 1.
Well, I know
I don't think he's consensus.
I think at one point there was a talk about the defensive lineman that got hurt. That had the big NIL deal out of like Oregon. I think it's such a kind of weak draft class that there's nobody that has separated themselves. Quarterback wise, you're talking like 3 people that are even kind of in the mix. So I don't know it. But the Pro Bowl, it is by far the worst display of or representation of the league's effort regular season as opposed to what they do in their all-star games. Just awful.
It's crazy how you watch, like yesterday, and they're lollygagging everywhere and they're barely touching each other. And then just about 13, 14 years ago, Sean Taylor just absolutely obliterated that punter in the Pro Bowl.
That's but that's kind of the beginning of the end right there. That's when that thing took a turn, but it's awful.
Nobody wants to get hurt in an exhibition charity type game like that.
Well, it's not even charity. It's a true exhibition. I wouldn't mind seeing a play 7-on-7, just eliminate the lineman and let's just watch these guys play. Again, they could go, helmets only or, whatever. But what that represented is just awful.
Yeah, I'm really surprised they haven't gone to a full flag football game type of deal.
Again, and before they do that, just don't play. Let's just shut it down. And it was kind of a tough sports weekend anyway. We talked about it a little bit off the air. There really was not a lot to get excited about for the mainstream sports fan. I guess if you're a NASCAR person, you're really fired up that got started. But
I will say this: it was different. It got my attention because just the fact of the venue. They're in the LA Coliseum. It's really set up for the USC Trojans, and they put a NASCAR track in there that was elevated 4 feet over the field. And just but the problem was, I was like, man, this could be Wreck City. It's so tight and so close.
Probably couldn't go fast
The exact
enough.
opposite happened. There was barely any wrecks, barely anything, because they had to go so slow. Because literally, there's no straightaway. You're turning the whole time, and it reminded me of like being a kid on the Matchbox. You had one of those little circles.
How far did they race?
They went 150 laps, which I forget.
So it's pretty quick.
It ended. If they had a halftime in this thing, I think they stopped at 75 laps. They had Ice Cube put on a concert, which was probably better than the race, quite honestly. I thought he brought some great energy. It was pretty entertaining.
We had Ice Cube yesterday. We'll have Snoop Dogg next week in the halftime.
Yeah. And then they went. If they didn't have a halftime, they just went straight through. They would have been done in an hour.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm good on that. Look, the PGA, they were at they were at Pebble Beach. That was kind of interesting. It's always fun to watch Pebble Beach. They had the Pro-Am leading it, but look, and I'm a golf fan. I guess that would be a NASCAR fan would go, who cares about a golf tournament? And I completely get it. But when that's like the marquee event it's kind of a weak sports weekend. And I'm not an NBA fan. I don't know if there was a great NBA game that I don't know about. I guess the Carolina Duke game should have been the highlight.
Yeah, and that was a blowout.
Well, and I'm going to tell you, man, the Carolina fans, and I know it wasn't all of them, and I'm sure that all of them do not share the sentiment, but what those that chose to start that chant did was absolutely as tasteless and classless as anything that I've ever seen in college athletics.
So in case you missed it, this is the last time Coach K will be in the Dean Dome.
Right.
As he's coming out into the court, the Carolina fans, let's say, faithful, not all of them, but a lot of them, many of them, start chanting F-bomb, Coach K. And I thought it too, very tacky, especially for Carolina fans that consider themselves that's the Carolina way and doing things the right way. That's exactly the wrong way. That's the exact opposite of how you want to act and behave. And it got picked up nationally. And a lot of bad publicity out of it.
The only thing I will say is that's the loudest I've ever heard that play. I mean, they just don't. That's just not their deal.
True.
That's the loudest I've heard that place.
Yeah.
You've got two programs, and you got a guy that, I mean, look, Mike Krzyzewski's been as big a part of that rivalry over his time at Duke as anybody at Carolina's been, right? I mean, that's why it works out so well. And he comes in there for the last time. Look, to me, anything less than a standing ovation for that guy, wherever he goes, he's earned that right.
And I know what Carolina fans are going to say, and I'm already starting to see some comments that, well, you know what the camera crazies say and what they've done, and that doesn't make it right. I don't care. Look, whatever those college students have done in the past, I'm sure they've done some off-color things, but it doesn't make it okay the way they treated Coach K that day in Chapel Hill. I thought it was disgusting.
Is there a return visit to Cameron this year? Or have they already played at Cameron? Or do they play twice this year? Because if they go to Cameron, now all bets are off. I mean, the gauntlet has been laid down, and so
I would think they've got one more visit to Cameron, don't they? Shirley, you're my kind of Duke reporter. Isn't there another
I'm
game?
on it. Usually, I was going to say it's always the last game of the year, March 5th, 6:00 at Duke.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting one right there.
Yeah, so I don't want to hear anything about it. You know what I mean? That is what I would tell my kids. I don't want to hear if you made the decision to go down this path. I don't want to hear anything about it. And because the Duke fans, they are going to wear them out, especially you beat them by 20. The Duke fans, it's going to be ugly.
Yeah, and that's that's his last regular season game.
Yeah,
right?
That's correct.
Then it's the ACC tournament and it's NCAA.
Yeah, but obviously I think Duke did what they had to do. Would it beat them by 20 or 21 or something like that? So
got on them early and never relented.
Yeah.
I mean, they stuck their foot on the gas and kept it on the whole time.
An adage in coaching: don't wake a sleeping dog, and that's kind of what they did with that chant as K's entering. So I don't know. It wasn't very pretty.
Yeah, that's like the old saying: "Don't poke the bear."
Don't poke the bear. That's exactly right.
Yeah,
and it was an ass whooping from the get go too.
Oh yeah,
it was never close.
Yeah, were you listening to the show, Chandler? And now I know what Clip's talking about.
He just said.
I just said that literally 20 seconds ago.
But
he was reiterating that.
Oh, okay.
For the people just now tuning in.
Tuning in. Okay. There's my breaking news, boy.
Thank you.
It was an ass whooping from the beginning.
From the get go.
It was.
Right off the bat.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and honestly, they probably got what they deserved.
They got what they got.
Yeah. So Coach K got the last laugh.
We are taking. We mentioned that we got the Olympics tuned in, so you had that accomplishment. As Ellerbe would say, you won the day.
Yeah.
So you got that going, and so now we are actually watching the Olympics, and I now realize why I don't watch the Winter Olympics.
Why is that?
Because it's terribly boring.
It is. I agree with you. There are very few sports that are interesting. And this is one of the more interesting sports, Mully. And if you're bored by this, you're really going to hate everything else. I don't even know what they call this.
Snowboard.
No, but this is like the snowboard, like crazy X game competition one.
And I think part of it, and I told my wife last night,
these guys are nuts. I mean, you got to
No, they're crazy. No, they're incredibly athletic. I think the other thing that takes so much of it away from me is that there are no fans.
Yeah.
There are no fans. And now I saw a thing this morning on the news. Well, I can't remember who the reporter was, but he was describing what he had to go through to get into the Olympic bubble.
Oh, I think
it's insane.
Absolute. I would have said, man, nope, I'm out. And what's NBC does it? Tirico?
Yeah, Mike Tirico.
He said, I'm out.
He left.
He left.
Oh, wow.
Or maybe he didn't leave yet, but he's leaving the next day or so.
Yeah, well, he's coming back for the Super Bowl, but he is not coming back.
He said, no, I'm good. I'll do the rest of it from the studio or from my house.
It's got to be, and usually what a dream for a broadcaster to be able to do the Olympics. It's got to be the worst one you ever have to do, be stuck in China like that.
Again, why
have it in China?
Why have it?
Yeah, well... Because of money. They're making millions and millions of dollars, Mully.
And they also invested millions and millions of dollars on the building of the Olympic, buildings,
village
the village, and a good portion of the snow is not real. It's human created.
I've flipped over this weekend and I saw I do like the bobsled. I'm fascinated by that. But even that gets boring after a while. But this, I don't know if you guys saw this or not. It was I've never seen this before. An indoor bobsled facility. Usually bobsled is always outside, right? Mm-hmm. It was indoor, it was in a building.
The last thing I watched,
how big those bobsled courses are.
The last thing I watched that intrigued me about bobsledding was Cool Runnings, and since then,
the Jamaican bobsled team did qualify for the Olympics, so they are there. I watched the giant slalom last night. Which is the very, very steep ski. I mean, you're talking about some serious
height,
speed, and height. Yep. Yeah, because it's coming down a very steep hill. And two of the favorites to medal in that event, one of them was an American whose name is escaping me right this second, but they wiped out almost immediately because it was so steep and so slick. And I forget the lady's name from Norway. She ended up winning, but I've always fascinated in curling. I like the curling.
It's boring. All right, let's take a time out. We'll get our final break in here. How can you be fascinated by curling? I mean, it's like a barroom game.
Well, curling reminds me more like golf or something. I can watch that. I mean, I don't watch it. I mean,
curling I like because they just yell for no reason, and I just find it hilarious.
Yeah. And what were you going to say? Didn't I say I could be a curling athlete?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I can. Which is more reason probably not to watch it. If it's something I can do at my age, do we really need
It's basically shuffleboard on ice.
Exactly. That is my point. It is a barroom game. This is shuffleboard on ice.
Still more fun than shuffleboard, though.
Mully and I could have a team. And I swear if we spent enough time at it, we'd probably be Olympians.
I don't know.
We get our break in here. We'll get ready to wrap up hour 2 with Coach Mike Mullis right after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Matt Driscoll. Please join us at A.J. Fletcher Music Hall or live stream on February 17th at 7:30 p.m. when Durward Ensemble will be on the campus of East Carolina University presenting works from our upcoming album, Prophetic Revolutions, and a world premiere by ECU alumna and Miss America 2019, Nia Franklin. If you would like to learn more or support our group, go to our website, durwardmusic.com. We look forward to seeing you Thursday, February 17th.
Burgers, wings, hand-cut, hand-breaded chicken tenders, fresh salads, and cold beer is the starting lineup at Tiebreakers and has been keeping customers happy for 20 years. Tiebreakers family atmosphere is the perfect place to come watch your favorite team play while enjoying a great lunch or dinner. In a hurry or looking for catering options? Get Tiebreakers to go. That now includes the new curbside pickup by ordering online at tiebreakersnc.com. Tiebreakers.
This is Dr. Christopher McDowell from Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. Our practice has been caring for athletes at ECU and the residents of Eastern North Carolina for more than 35 years. Whether it's treatment for your sports injury or it's time for that joint replacement, Orthopedics East provides the latest in operative and non-operative orthopedic care. We also offer on-site physical therapy and MRI services. For experience and professional care, call us at 757-BONE or visit us online at orthoeast.com. Go Pirates!
Although innovative new resources such as digital media and social networks have grown in popularity, smart marketers recognize that printing is a mainstay.
We live in an age of computer hacking, scams, and fly-by-night businesses, so it's reassuring to consumers when they receive printed marketing pieces.
It exemplifies business confidence and conveys a high level of commitment.
It also fosters trust, which leads to engagement and ultimately brand loyalty.
When you're ready to grow your business, come to PIP, where business goes to grow.
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with rentafishtank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. Rentafishtank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. Rentafishtank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at rentafishtank.com.
Before anyone walks into your business, the outside is what they see. Make sure your first impression is a good impression with the right curb appeal. Hi, this is Daniel Andrews from Dan Andrews Lawn Service. We specialize in making your business look great. Let us handle all your professional landscaping needs. We do it all so you don't ever have to worry. Residential services are also available. Call us today at 717-8006 and we'll come out and give you a free quote. Taking care of your landscaping needs is all we do, and we've been doing it for over 20 years. You can trust our reliable team at Dan Andrews Lawn Service, covering all of Eastern North Carolina.
When I need jeans, I order online because I know exactly what I want. They have just one moving part, and if there's something wrong, I exchange them. Buying a vehicle, especially pre-owned, is way different. Lots of moving parts. You don't want to get stuck. For a worry-free purchase, visit Phelps Chevrolet. We've been here in town a very long time. You know us. You know we stand behind everything we sell. Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville. Come get you one.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, Pirates supporting Pirates.
This is former ECU football player Bryce Williams, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
This hour of PRL is brought to you by Tommy's Express Car Wash. Come experience the difference at Tommy's. Now open at the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road. Doesn't your car deserve it? Visit Tommy's Express Car Wash today. Now back to the show.
Welcome back. Be sure to check out David Price Construction for all of your commercial or custom residential renovation and building needs. Run by ECU alumni, David Price Construction specializes in commercial property or projects rather, maintenance on facilities and large-scale residential renovations and additions. David Price Construction, the proud ECU home services partner. Call them today at 919-292-5532 or visit them online at davidpriceconstruction.com. Now let's head back into the show. Here's Troy.
All right, thank you, Shirley. Man, this show is flying by today as we get ready to wrap up Hour 2 with Mully, and Hour 1, Ellerbe, Brian Bailey. Coming up in Hour 3, David Glenn will rejoin us. I haven't talked to DG in a while. Look forward to catching up with him. And big-time guest coming up on Tuesday, Mully. Remember the Pac-Man, Mark Packer?
Yeah.
Gonna talk to Mark Packer, the Pac-Man. Hadn't hooked up with him in years.
I will say this: when he came down and did the Southern Fried Football Tour, excuse me, before that was when the Pirate Radio tailgate spot was there at the in the circle. Not telling you know that,
yeah.
but and the end of the stadium wasn't bowled in.
Right, that's right.
So he had the horse trailer that had the observation deck up top.
Yeah, he brought the RV down.
Well, no. He had he may have, but I know he had this and it had like, I don't know, 5 or 6 TVs inside.
Yep.
And he and one of his guys and I went up and set up top there and watched the game through the stadium.
Yeah.
But I remember Florida and Georgia were playing at the same time. Mm-hmm. So we're watching the Florida-Georgia game, sitting there watching the East Carolina game. That was one of my most fond football experiences. It was a
great tailgate we had that day.
That was a good time. He was giving away the Old Spice stuff, if you remember right.
I do.
I actually think I had to take the Gator and make a beverage run to the convenience store because it was the tailgate was such a hit.
Yeah, so I remember getting hit a bunch of like Bojangles gift cards we were handing out like crazy back then.
It was quite a good time.
All right, Troy, they fill in for Clip. He'll rejoin us later this week. He's off a couple days, but look forward to being here with you for the next few days here. And although I feel like Clip's still with us because his hair is it's got to be his because it's not Bailey's, because Bailey's is white and me and Mully don't have enough to shed. We're going to have to get Clip a hairnet when he comes back to do the show.
Yeah, I said during the break that on Thursday when we think he should return, he should wear a hairnet.
Yeah.
Especially in the 5 o'clock hour when you're here.
Yeah. We were talking about food earlier. I'm going to get your favorite Super Bowl food, Mully, but before I do, we're in break, and Mully looks at the trash can and goes, huh? You do a good Mully. What did he say?
What? That was the stupidest thing you've ever seen.
No. He said, he looked at it, he goes, oh, someone got the land and sea combo here?
Oh, land and sea combo?
I was like, land and sea combo?
And air.
Land, air, and sea. All right, if you guys can't do it right, let's just stop.
Land, air, and sea.
Thank you, Shirley.
It was the land, air. I'm like, land, air, and sea combo. What are you talking about? And I was like, all I saw was a McDonald's bag in there. And I guess one of our interns brought McDonald's in, and you saw the box that says land, air, and sea.
No, I just saw a box. I mean,
but on the side it says menu hacks, and they're doing this new thing at McDonald's, I guess, where you can create your.
So what is?
I don't know.
What is
again, I've not had one. I just have seen these advertised, and it's a Big Mac, full-on Big Mac, like nothing deleted from the Big Mac.
Which a Big Mac is like 3 or 4 pieces of bread, 2 patties.
Yeah, they know the jingle. And then you add
special sauce, lettuce, cheese
on a sesame seed bun.
Yeah,
they add a McChicken fillet, like fried chicken fillet, and they add a fish fillet to the Big Mac.
I got to be honest with you, man. That sounds absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, that's brought to you by Vita.
I can't think of a grosser like combo all in one sandwich.
Well, there's some that would be grosser, but that's right up there.
Wow. So was that what he was eating?
I did see he had a 20-piece McNugget and some fries. So he kept it like traditional.
Okay. Air, land, and sea.
Or land, air, and sea.
That just upsets my stomach just thinking about it.
Yeah, it's a terrible idea. You know what's funny? They've waited just long enough from that Super Size Me kind of documentary thing.
Oh, yeah. That was a long time ago, too.
Yeah, did you watch that?
I did.
My health class in high school made us watch it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. I did. Not great advertising.
Is that dude still alive?
Yeah, well, he lost all that weight. He only did that for the movie.
No, I get that, but I didn't know if there was
he did it for a month.
Some fallout.
Oh. Health-wise?
Yeah.
I guess now he's back to normal, so.
I don't know. Breaking news guy, can you tell us if
I'm on it, sir.
Yeah, That was that documentary was called
Super Size Me.
Super Size Me, yeah. So why don't you look that up, see who did it, and see if that got.
There is an echo in here, Chandler. It's not just coming from your side because it seems like I just said it's called Super Size Me.
So,
for those of you just tuning in,
yeah,
are you listening?
See, it happens to the best of us. Let's see. Nah, he's still alive. He's 51 years old.
What's his name?
Morgan Spurlock.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Come on,
so it's like
Troy.
your age.
Oh yeah.
No, I remember that.
My age.
How old are you?
I'm not 51. I'm not 50.
Oh really?
No, you're the old guy.
No, I don't know about that.
I tell you what, man, this guy really took a turn after Super Size Me.
What
Because
happened?
the next film he did was Where in the World is Osama bin Laden? After he did one about McDonald's.
Yeah.
And then he did one about One Direction, the popular boy band, back when I was in middle school.
Well, the Osama bin Laden one should have been very short.
Well, that was before he was at the bottom of the ocean.
That was
I
in
guess.
2008.
Yeah.
They buried him with Optimus. I mean, with Megatron.
Megatron.
Yeah, they buried him with Megatron.
Oh, so in 2017, Spurlock stepped down from his production company after admitting to having committed sexual misconduct in his past, including cheating on his past wives and girlfriends, as well as settling a sexual harassment allegation. So
there you go.
Boy, you went right for the smut, didn't you, Chan?
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
You keep it classy. What are you, a Carolina fan?
Yeah, F Morgan Spurlock.
There he is, our breaking news boy, Chandler Honeycutt.
He made another Super Size Me, by the way, in 2017.
Again?
Super Size Me 2.
Oh, that didn't get so much pub, did it? I didn't even hear.
Well, I mean, what else can you do?
Yeah, how do you do that as a sequel?
I'm just going to eat salads the whole time and see how much weight I gain. I mean, what do you do for the second one? I mean, yeah.
I don't know. It was amazing, though, that dude ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner there for a whole month. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get tired of eating the same thing for anything. You know.
Well, you kind of stay in the middle. You with your food, you dance like a white guy. You're not doing a whole lot. There's no tricky moves there. Now you may want to customize it to your exact.
Yeah, I stay in my lane, but I bounce around places. I can't eat the same place every day.
No, you don't. But you get pretty much the
I get
same
my
thing.
favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely get in the cycle.
Well, speaking of that,
all right. Before we get out of here, what you got planned for Super Bowl? What are you eating? What is your favorite food Super Bowl Sunday?
Well, our favorite food just about all the time is wings, and my boys have already said that. I said, yeah, we're good.
All right. Are you making them or are you getting them to
Yeah,
go?
no, you know what? We did the Wingstop thing one year, and it was just, they were so busy. So we've already bought them, and we've got them ready.
So you're going to be taking care of business at your house?
Yeah, obviously we had to freeze them. We'll take them out and we'll brine them.
Yeah.
We'll do the whole
It's
deal.
not like Thanksgiving. You're cooking your own turkey.
We'll brine them, and then we'll throw them on the grill.
Grill them.
We may throw a few in the air fryer.
Okay.
By the way, I did see somewhere on social media, Tiebreakers is taking their pre-orders for wings this weekend.
That's a good call.
And I would suggest if you want them, you better order them pretty soon.
Yeah. Now that would be where I'd get mine,
The whole reason we did Wingstop that time is I'd gotten home and it was like, well, let's do wing, and we'll just have them DoorDashed, and nope.
Yeah.
But now I could DoorDash them from Tiebreakers or Takeout Pros or whatever they're using.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're much better.
They are. There's no question.
Yeah, they're much better.
Yeah. All right, Mully, good seeing you.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here.
Chandler, Shirley, the best news is you only have to do this with him for like 2 more days.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Not have to. Get to.
Get to. You get to.
We have the opportunity to do this.
I mean, there is some maintenance with this one. This dude he's maintenance intensive.
Oh, come on now. This has been easy breezy.
Yeah.
It's already 5 o'clock.
Shirley's been like on her phone the whole time. I haven't even made you do anything, Shirley.
Aside from the fact that you're off on your commercial breaks again?
I thought I was doing good.
Zinger.
Who's the producer supposed to be keeping me alive?
No, I told you when we were supposed to take the breaks.
Are we going to have to start doing this at some point? Say you wrap it up, just like right now.
I have me at the 4:55 break. Am I right?
Yes.
I'm only off by 10 minutes.
Yeah, but you... Whatever.
Right, see y'all. Get off my back. We'll be back.
See you, Mully.
David Glenn joins us right after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsay Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
I can't think of anyone who doesn't love a clean car, but how often do you actually go to the car wash? Does it take too long, or maybe it's just not a very nice place? Tommy's Express changes everything. Our wash is bright, inviting, clean, and fast.
I love the flat conveyor belt. So easy to pull onto, much smoother ride, and safer for my car.
And when you join Tommy Club, you can wash as often as you like for one low monthly price.
I save money and time.
We're Tommy's Express.
At the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road, Greenville.
UBE and PirateWear.com is excited to offer Pirate Nation the largest selection of new ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young Pirates in to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kids store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking uptown in Greenville. Visit them at PirateWear.com. Go Pirates!
Pirate fans, get ready for a winning season and team up with Quality Equipment, your local John Deere dealer and proud sponsor of the ECU Pirates. When you do business with us, you'll get things done right. We're proud to offer a large selection of new and used John Deere equipment, a fully stocked parts department, and a highly trained staff who is here to support you throughout the life of your equipment. So get quality done right before every ECU game day and visit QualityEquip.com.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
Domino's new warm oven-baked dips and twist combos are making a lot of noise in the pizza world.
Holy cow.
That's good. There's cheesy marinara with dippable bread twist.
So cheesy. So tomatoey.
Sweet and cinnamony baked apple dip.
Now that is sweet.
And melty 5-cheese dip.
Hold up. 5 cheeses?
Try our new oven-baked dips and twist combos or any 3-topping pizza for $7.99 each when you carry out from Domino's. Carry out only. You must ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, and charges may vary. Excludes XL and specialty pizzas. Crust availability varies by size.
Hey, this is Troy D, proud ECU grad from the class of 94. And if you know me, you know I love the 90s here at ECU. It was some of our glory days, including bowl games, the Peach Bowl, and even a March Madness appearance. Relive those days with my friends from Tailgate Classics. Tailgate Classics is a cool retro store with all types of merchandise, including the 90s ECU vintage tees and hats. Check out Tailgate Classics in person, 304 Evans Street, or online at shoptailgateclassics.com. Tailgate Classics, bringing back the throwbacks.
Hey Pirate fans, Derek Pizzeni from Carolina Wealth Management. Are you a fiduciary? That's a question every investor should ask their advisor. A fiduciary is an individual who acts in the best interest of a particular person or beneficiary. Is your advisor a fiduciary? You should know it's your money. At Carolina Wealth Management, we do things differently from other investment firms. To learn more about the benefits of working with a fiduciary advisor, visit mycarolinawealth.com. That's mycarolinawealth.com.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center of Greenville's Extended Care Clinic is open Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m., so you can avoid the emergency department for any of your urgent orthopedics care. For more information, call 757-2663 or visit orthoeast.com. Orthopedics East, providing services to Eastern North Carolina and the Pirate Nation for more than 35 years. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here is your host, Troy Dreyfus.
All right, thank you, Shirley. Welcome back in. Thanks to Mully for hanging out with us for hour 2. Excuse me. Coming up in hour 3, guy we hadn't talked to in a while, one of our favorites, former host of the David Glenn Show. He is David Glenn, joining us on the live line. DG, welcome back. How are you, friend?
Troy D, great to be with you. Great to be on Pirate Radio again. I'm doing really, really well, and excited to talk to you again.
We'll get to what you've been up to lately in a little bit. But first, man, I haven't talked to you in a while. So, since the last time we talked, all this NIL stuff was breaking. And I was just curious to kind of get your perspective on it and how you think it might change the shape of college athletics, what it's done already. I thought it was entertaining. Jimbo Fisher referencing some message board guy sliced bread for 5 minutes the other day because he didn't like some comment that somebody put on a random website. What's your take on all this NIL stuff and the transfer portal and where we are with college athletics right now?
Well, it's changing dramatically, and it's not like what we grew up with, and certainly nothing like what our parents grew up with, and it's not going to reverse field. So we need to get used to the transfer portal, even if we don't like it. We need to get used to NIL, even if it bothers some people. One of the, I think, early takeaways, Troy, that we have is that there are infinitely more examples, and some of the companies that do this NIL stuff have released some information. But the long story short is there are way, way more examples of college athletes getting $100 here, or in some cases $1,000 there. And there are not nearly as many examples of the big dollar NIL compensation that some people envisioned. Now, we do have $1 million athletes. I believe we may have one in the Atlantic Coast Conference here in the first year of this sort of stuff being legal. But it gets back to basically the free market, and everybody's eligible to make the deals that they can make as long as they don't violate a handful of NCAA rules. But there are infinitely more 3-digit and 4-digit deals than there are those worth $10,000 or more or $100,000 or more, and up the ladder beyond that.
I agree with you. I think the handful of student athletes will make the bulk of the money, and the majority of these athletes aren't having NIL deals. It really is a small percentage that are getting them, and even here at East Carolina, it's just a handful of athletes that are even involved in these deals. It's not it is not system wide, but the big name schools and the big name players are going to get the headlines, and they're going to make the big time money.
Yeah, we've also learned probably that what we would have predicted to a degree has happened. For example, Division I male athletes are getting roughly 2/3 of the total NIL compensation. Now, maybe the other number is bigger than some would think, but almost 1/3 has gone to Division I female athletes. So that might be a slightly different division than we would have guessed. But it's predominantly male. It's predominantly the Power 5 leagues. I know not everybody loves that terminology, but those that you would have guessed were getting more money, those in the higher profile sports at the higher profile schools, they're the ones that in some cases are really raking it in, although there are a handful of exceptions to that rule.
No doubt about it. David Glenn joining us, formerly from the David Glenn Show. We'll talk about what David is up to nowadays in a few minutes. But David, big week this week, Super Bowl week, as everybody predicted. The Bengals and the Rams, right? That was on your card beginning of the season.
Not, but I'll tell you what, I was curious, and I'd have to go back and see what my thoughts were. I hardly even remember these days. Without a show, I don't have to document these things as nearly as often as I used to. But I remember thinking, after watching Matthew Stafford as a quarterback in the NFL for over a decade, I wonder what this cat would do with a better coach and a better supporting cast. Because you could see the talent there. And just like with Joe Burrow, you could see it at LSU and in the early days of his NFL career. And both of those guys are examples now where they're clicking with their head coach. They have a good supporting cast. And it's made the NFL, I think, more fun, less predictable. But that Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford combination, I don't know if I predicted they'd be in the Super Bowl, but I really thought that was going to make the Rams a much bigger threat than any team that Matthew Stafford has ever been on at the NFL level.
Who you like, David, in the game?
I'll take the Rams, but I don't say that with great confidence. I think it could go either way. I don't think it's lopsided at all. I hope we don't get one of those, runaway games that sometimes the Super Bowl spits out for us. I just believe that they're a little bit more well-rounded, and I'm a big believer that Sean McVay is a really good head coach and Matthew Stafford's a really good quarterback, but I wouldn't bet a nickel on it either way.
David, you live in the heart of ACC country up there in the Triangle, and I know you've made a living for a long time covering ACC sports. The big game this past weekend, Duke, Carolina. Coach K's final appearance at the Dean Dome. It was such a blowout. The storyline really ended up being his greeting by the Carolina fans as he entered the court. And isn't that a little, doesn't Carolina usually act that they're better than that they don't stoop to those type of levels? The F Coach K chant, isn't that really low class by the Tar Heel fans?
I thought it was lowbrow. I don't know what percentage of Carolina fans were doing that, but that is certainly not what I walked into when I was watching, Dean Smith coach teams in the late 1980s and almost through the entire 1990s. In fact, I saw examples where Carolina fans didn't even go, 1/10 as far as they did with that Coach K chant. And I saw with my own eyes Coach Smith motion to the crowd to stop this chant or stop that chant, or even occasionally grab the microphone and send a message to the fans themselves. So times have changed. You know how it goes, Troy. If 20,000 people were behaving themselves, but 100 really loud people were being obnoxious, the 100 loud people, the profane people, are going to get the headlines. And again, I don't know what the percentage was. And certainly I've seen some ugly moments on the Duke side of this same rivalry. But for the most part, it has been a classy rivalry, one built on mutual respect. And that particular aspect of this weekend's game, was a big step backward in that regard.
No doubt about it. What other stories have you been covering, now that you have a little more time on your hands? And you don't have to do it every single day like you were doing. What do you follow as a fan more than anything?
Well, I'm still a Carolina Hurricanes season ticket holder. So the seats that I believe you've enjoyed at some point on the glass behind one of the nets, I still have those.
Need to come back for a game this season, David.
I share them with somebody, so he gets the majority. He's an old retired guy. I'm not quite retired yet, but I still love the Canes. Rod Brindamore, the head coach, Tom Dundon, the owner. These are guys I know really, really well, along with some of the players. So it's kind of a personal thing as well as a fan type thing. So as a fan, I still love hockey, and I still write for, among others, ACCsports.com and chapelboro.com, a website here in North Carolina. I just had a 4-part one-on-one Q&A with Roy Williams, the retired Hall of Fame basketball coach. I write about sports business issues, sports law issues, including NIL type stuff. So it's fun. I just kind of, as a journalist, pick what interests me most and write about that. And I'm having a lot of fun with the folks at chapelboro.com, whether it's the Roy Williams Q&A or the ACC Network finally striking a deal with Comcast, which was a very lucrative thing for the Atlantic Coast Conference and a much-needed thing given how far behind the SEC and the Big Ten, even the ACC, has fallen. But, yeah, I'm having fun with it. It's less of a grind, more fun. I teach a little at UNC Wilmington. I write a little at chapelboro.com and other places. I'm doing some legal work and some consulting. So it's just a different chapter of my career where there's less stress, less structure, and more fun.
David, if some of our listeners want to read some of your articles and writings there, is that available for free, or is it behind a paywall? How do you, and give that web address one more time for folks that want to check that out.
It's Chapel, like at the chapel in Chapel Hill, and then BORO, so chapelboro.com. And I'm 99% sure that all of my stuff, they actually created a nifty little name for my column. They call it Holding Court with David Glenn. a cute little play on my legal background and obviously my sports background. So I think there's a gavel and a basketball in the graphic for my holding court column. So yeah, it's a little bit of a lot of things. Sometimes I'm writing about what's going on the field and on the court. It's usually big picture stuff. And that's the kind of stuff that sometimes when I was the editor for the ACC Sports Journal for 20-some years, I didn't always have the time to do those deeper dives. So it's been fun to be able to kind of pick my topics and pick my spots and interview interesting people, and sometimes even bring those interesting people into my class at UNC Wilmington.
What's you mentioned you've had a sit down with Roy Williams, and you've got a article about what he's doing nowadays. Any kind of buyer's remorse from Roy or seller's remorse, so leaving that job? Sometimes I talk to a lot of coaches, and they might leave it and then they miss it terribly. And is there any regret by him that he think he hung it up too soon?
I don't think so. And, whereas it is true that Roy Williams is a big-time golfer. In fact, he named his half a dozen favorite golf courses on earth in answer to one of our questions, which was pretty interesting. Grandfather Mountain in North Carolina made the list, among others. And whereas he is a proud grandfather, so he likes spending more time with his children and his grandchildren, he travels with his wife Wanda a lot. And all of those things, including the golf, obviously he didn't have nearly as much time to do while he was coaching the Tar Heels. So I think he's enjoying that aspect of retirement. And whereas not everybody believes him when he says this, he emphasized to me over and over, Troy, that the main reason he retired, and of course he didn't like the transfer portal, he didn't like NIL, he didn't like, over-involved parents. There were other factors, but the number one reason he swears is what caused him to retire is that he felt like the last two Carolina basketball teams, he did not connect with them in ways that he had done over an illustrious career at Kansas and at North Carolina, and on his way to 3 different NCAA titles and a whole lot of Final Fours and a whole lot of first-place conference finishes and conference championships, etc. He remembers tactical mistakes that he made that he didn't think he made nearly as often in previous years. And he remembers, failing to connect with players that he wouldn't name, of course, because that's how he is. But 14 and 19 2 years ago, remember, there was no NCAA tournament, so it's easier to forget that the Heels would have missed the tournament if there was one. And last year it was only 18 and 11 and getting bounced in that round of 64. He was very self-critical. And at that roughly, what was he when he retired? He's 71 now, so whatever he was the moment he retired, roughly the same. He believes that however many changes there are in college basketball, he was no longer pushing the right buttons, and that's the number one reason that he stepped away.
I'll have to check that out for sure. And what a career he has had. So it sounds like he's enjoying retirement. You mentioned golf, how much he loves that. Did you see HV3 over the weekend getting a major victory?
That was incredible. I mean, we have walk-off dunks and, walk-off touchdown passes and walk-off game-winning field goals. You don't see that many walk-off. What was that?
Walk-off eagle, yeah.
Walk-off eagle to win the tournament.
92 feet.
Tournament and a high-profile tournament. That was great to see.
Yeah, what and we were talking about it earlier. You want to root for people that are just good people, too. And Harold Varner, even though he's become more and more famous and more wealthy, he's really been the same guy all along. And he's the same guy that used to play golf and attend here at East Carolina, and he comes back all the time. And at least through now, it hasn't gone to his head, and he's really kind of stayed level-headed and just been the same dude he always has been.
Yeah, it feels like our great state is involved in just about anything. Like we can name the players from our universities that are representing each side of the Super Bowl. So every time you turn around, whether it was Webb Simpson, who's a Raleigh guy and has lived in Charlotte as well, and of course is a Wake Forest guy. He's been a prominent elite golfer on that scene in recent decades, and he's a real easy guy to root for and a very down-to-earth person and a good person. It just feels like wherever you turn in the sports world, college or pro, one of our teams or somebody who grew up here or a coach from here, an athlete from here, we're just involved in everything, and it's one of the things that makes jobs like yours and mine so much fun.
Yeah, no doubt. Did you catch any of the NASCAR exhibition over the weekend? I guess that's officially what they're calling it, an exhibition in the L.A. Coliseum.
That was weird to see, and it's been fun that NASCAR has decided to go to so many unconventional places. We talk about this in my class sometimes at UNC Wilmington. They have been a sport on the decline, and there's all sorts of debates about why TV ratings are down and attendance is down, and whether they're going to be able to strike a good TV deal the next time that comes up because of a lower interest, generally speaking. But that's a sport that was born and raised right here in our backyard, and I think it's the top 25 racing teams are still based somewhere in the greater Charlotte area. So this is our sport. So whereas there's room for criticism of what NASCAR has done wrong, I think it's been fun to see them in some unconventional places. And I didn't see much of that race, but it certainly was eye-catching to see stock cars going through the LA Coliseum.
I thought they took a page. I thought they took a page out of the NHL playbook. You know how they like to move the hockey game around. In fact, Raleigh's going to get that game, I believe, next year. In Carter Finley, where they do the New Year's Day game outside.
They have two now. They have one called the Winter Classic and one called the Stadium Series. But yes, they're visiting all of these outdoor venues in hockey. As crazy as that sounds,
yeah, it kind of had that feel to it. It's like it's a different sport in a venue you're not used to seeing it in.
True, and you know the deal. The sports and entertainment world has become so splintered that it's just harder to get people's attention. There's so many channels. Yeah. There's so many sports. So people are trying to think of creative ways to be unique and be different and step away from their comfort zone. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't work. But that hockey example is one that people have really responded to, and no doubt about it.
Before we let you go, David, I want to get your thoughts on, you were talking about, the sports world splintered. It seems like the NFL has been able to be that 1,000-pound gorilla. They still continue to get the ratings, get all the money, and everybody's kind of chasing them in this country. But, man, they've had a lot of off-the-field problems this year. You've got the lawsuit now by Miami Dolphins former coach Brian Flores with citing, institutional racism with the league and the reason he wasn't hired at other places. You've got the lawsuit still with Gruden that's going on with his departure from the Raiders. You have a legal background, as you said. You have obviously a sports interest. What's going to happen with those two lawsuits in the NFL, in your opinion?
Well, the devil is in the details. It all comes. What is usually the case in legal proceedings is that the plaintiff, in this case Brian Flores, has an amount of money in mind. 9 times out of 10, right? I mean, if somebody wrecked my boat, what am I really trying to get if I sue? Well, I'd like the value of buying a new boat, right? There's usually almost always there's a monetary value in mind. In this particular case, it's not impossible that the NFL could reach a financial settlement with Brian Flores, but he sounds like the rare plaintiff where it's really not about the money. And I know most people roll their eyes when they hear that phrase, but I'm sure it's partly about the money. But this sounds like a guy who's on a mission to turn down settlement money offers so that if he can get all the way to what's called discovery in the legal system, where maybe the NFL has to turn over uncomfortable emails and texts that may have racially charged language in them, as we saw with John Gruden. I mean, John Gruden's not a head coach anymore because of some documented evidence, right?
And that was just leaked. That had nothing to do with a legal case.
Right, and you know how it goes. If it's simply he said, she said, Brian Flores remembers something one way and somebody else swears it didn't happen that way or remembers it a different way, it's really hard for a plaintiff to win when it's just he said, she said. When you get to the point, and if they get to the point where these documents are demanded to be handed over, that's where things get really interesting. Now, the bottom line, looking forward, given the nature of your question, the NFL is still on the sturdiest foundation. This is not an exaggeration when I say this. It is the strongest financial foundation in the history of sports, period. and they're already making $15+ billion a year, and they just signed a new contract. If $5 billion a year in TV deals wasn't enough, their new deals doubled it. They're now going to have an average of $10 billion a year. That is just multimedia revenue.
Yeah.
Before sponsorships and all those other things. $10 billion a year, and those deals are signed well into the next decade.
Yeah.
I think it's through 2033. That's the strongest economic model in the history of sports by a lot. So even if the NFL takes some hits financially and otherwise, it is still going to be the super heavyweight in the worldwide history of sports.
Yeah, it's incredible the amount of money. Anything with the Gruden case you think will come to light?
I don't know. That's a guessing game, right? I mean, we'll see is the best way to put it. I'm fascinated to see if the Flores case goes all the way to the point where those various teams have to hand over documents, because that's a very uncomfortable position to be in. That would take it out of he said, she said. But you've already heard some of the evidence. You know, Flores remembers the Broncos interview one way. The Broncos swear that they took meticulous notes about a 5-hour interview, and they remember it a different way.
Mm-hmm.
I think anybody, most people are just rooting for the truth.
Yeah.
Whatever the truth is, let's have it come out. And if the NFL is doing improper things racially or otherwise in terms of discrimination, the NFL should be penalized for that. And if Brian Flores is exaggerating, well, then the NFL has a chance to show its evidence that he is exaggerating. I just hope the truth comes out. And because I don't think Flores is going to just kind of take a bag of money to walk away, I think we have, at least a chance of getting closer to the truth this time, which is not the case in many lawsuits.
Yeah, I agree with you. Last question, DG. What's your favorite Super Bowl food for Sunday?
I like that, what's it called? Like the 3-level bean dip chips.
I like
the goats.
Yeah, there's like a 7-layer one, too, I've seen someone make before.
I'm cool. I'm an easy guess, though. I like wings. Of course, I love my adult beverages, if that counts.
Yeah. Are you a stay-at-home guy, or do you like to go out for the Super Bowl?
Usually stay at home.
Yeah.
I just had a text from two of my best childhood friends going all the way back to like when I was 10 years old. You only have so many friends that close for that many years. And it was 4 years ago this past weekend that we were in Minneapolis as guys who grew up in the Philadelphia area, cheering for a team that had never won the Super Bowl at that point. And we watched our Eagles beat Tom Brady and the Patriots.
Yeah.
That was 4 years ago, and one of my favorite memories as a sports fan, covering it or otherwise.
All right, DG, let's give that website one more time for folks wondering what you've been up to, and if they want to read more about your articles, where they can go again.
Yes, chapelboro.com. Chapel and then BORO.com. A lot of great stuff. I hope folks will check it out.
All right, good deal. Thanks for your time today, David. Great catching up with you. Let me know when you're back in Greenville. We'll meet up for lunch or dinner one night.
Always fun, my friend. Great to be with you, Troy. Take care.
All right, see you, man. David Glenn joining us on the live line. Always great to talk to DG. Great friend of the station. And as he mentioned, you can go online now and read his articles at chapelboro.com. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Got a lot more to get to as PRL rolls on. The final half hour of hour 3. This has flown by today. We've had a fast-moving show. We'll have a lot more when we return right after this.
In studio with Jeff Stein from Brown & Wood. What's new, Jeff?
For service, we're doing touchless pickup and drop-offs. So when you pull your vehicle in, we greet you at the car and open the door for you, but we're putting plastic on the seats. We're having a steering wheel cover put on. We even have shift knob covers now this year. And then we have the customer actually drop the key in a baggie, and they're the next one to touch that key when it comes out of the baggie when they pick up their vehicle. So just want to make sure we take care of the customers that voted us number one.
Brown & Wood, your number one dealership in Greenville and the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
There's nothing more important than protecting your family. Fire ants can cause painful allergic reactions and even death. Protect your loved ones at home where you should feel the safest. Visit pesttechofgreenville.com to learn of our once-a-year treatment to guarantee you stay fire ant free. Tested and proven effective by your Eastern North Carolina exterminating professionals at Pest Tech of Greenville. Mention the crying baby for an extra 10% off.
The Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of pirates and ENC. Open 7 days a week from noon until 2 a.m., the Buck features live music every night of the week. Tuesday is karaoke with DJ Captain Morgan. Wednesday is acoustic night. Thursday is the DJ dance party. And Friday and Saturday nights, it's live bands. Check out the Buck's Facebook or Instagram page for more information. The Buccaneer Music Hall. We'll see you at the Buck.
Did you know time spent outdoors can help improve your children's health and bring balance to their life? The Outdoor Heritage Advisory Council invites you to join the Patch program. This program is for any child under the age of 16 and includes activities like fishing, hunting, and hiking. These are just one of the many ways you can earn the exclusive patches from the Outdoor Heritage Council. For more information on how to sign up and get your adventure started, visit outdoorheritage.nc.gov.
Grow Rug 26 is coming to Greenville March 25th through the 27th. This is DJ Fussell from F3 ENC, inviting all men to sign up now for this leadership training event. The Grow Rug training events are designed to help men become high-impact men by reinforcing the F3 mission of invigoration of male community leadership. To register or to learn more, please visit f3enc.com. That's f3enc.com. Remember, you don't have to be great to get started, but you've got to get started if you want to be great.
Before anyone walks into your business, the outside is what they see. Make sure your first impression is a good impression with the right curb appeal. Hi, this is Daniel Andrews from Dan Andrews Lawn Service. We specialize in making your business look great. Let us handle all your professional landscaping needs. We do it all so you don't ever have to worry. Residential services are also available. Call us today at 717-8006 and we'll come out and give you a free quote. Taking care of your landscaping needs is all we do, and we've been doing it for over 20 years. You can trust our reliable team at Dan Andrews Lawn Service, covering all of Eastern North Carolina.
Hey, this is Troy D, proud ECU grad from the class of 94. And if you know me, you know I love the 90s here at ECU. It was some of our glory days, including bowl games, the Peach Bowl, and even a March Madness appearance. Relive those days with my friends from Tailgate Classics. Tailgate Classics is a cool retro store with all types of merchandise, including the 90s ECU vintage tees and hats. Check out Tailgate Classics in person, 304 Evans Street, or online at shoptailgateclassics.com. Tailgate Classics, bringing back the throwbacks.
Be sure to check out David Price Construction for all of your commercial or custom residential renovation and building needs. Run by ECU alumni, David Price Construction specializes in commercial projects, maintenance on facilities, and large-scale residential renovations and additions. Proud to be voted the Remodeler of the Year by the Home Builders Association of Raleigh-Wake County in 2018 and Best Business Commercial Remodel Project winner for 2020. David Price Construction, the proud ECU Home Services partner.
Welcome aboard the Pirate Ship of Fun.
Pirate Radio,
Prepare for the adventure of a lifetime.
the voice of the pirate nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Carolina Caliber has the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and is one of the top firearm dealers anywhere. At Carolina Caliber, they have everything you need for hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. They will buy, sell, and trade. Carolina Caliber, locally owned and operated since 1960 on Fire Tower Road in Winterville. You all right there, Chandler? All right, now let's head back into the show. Here's Troy.
What's going on over there?
I almost dropped my phone.
I was like, I just saw him.
I thought Chandler tickled you for a second, Shirley.
No. No, because I would jump if he did that. I'm
And
very
slap me.
ticklish.
Yeah.
I am extremely ticklish.
Where are you most ticklish?
My sides.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's your spot.
Yeah, if somebody gets me on my sides, and they don't even have to tickle, they can just kind of take your finger and kind of poke you in the side. Yeah, I'll jump. Hey.
Yep.
Jerk.
There it is. Confirmed.
I had to test it out. Yeet.
Yeah. It's right in her soft spot.
And literally the only thing I did was touch her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially that spot, like right underneath your ribs, but above your waist, that little soft spot.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's pretty much,
Has anyone ever told you don't touch that and you just go, all right, I gotta touch it?
Yeah, my mom used to tell me that all the time when I was a kid. Don't do that.
Yeah, I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
All right. Thank goodness you said your side, not somewhere else. I don't want Chandler to keep your hands to yourself from here on out.
I mean,
I've been sexually abused here many a time.
Stop it. We're going to have to put one of those plexiglass things between y'all, not because of COVID, but just so you don't touch each other. All right. Anyway, welcome back to the show. Man, this was a fun program today. Led off with Ellerbe, had Brian Bailey, Mike Mullis, David Glenn. Good to catch up with DG.
It's been a while since DG's been on.
Got a big show lined up for Tuesday. I got to get everything. So part of the host's responsibility is also the booker of the show. You know, usually we have, not that we can't assist and stuff, but usually Clip helps with that. But he's off today and tomorrow. I've got. How about this coming up? Scheduled to appear. Why don't we say that? I don't have the order yet. I'll finalize the stuff tomorrow. But scheduled to appear. Mark Packer, the Pac-Man.
The Pac-Man.
Coming up on Tuesday's show. A legend. Used to be prime time with the Pac-Man. You longtime Pirate Radio listeners will remember that. I still have people ask me about that show, Shirley. You remember
about
that?
the Pac-Man show?
Oh, yeah. People love that show. Remember we used to carry it for years?
Oh, yeah.
But it's been years since we've had it on. People still ask, what happened to Pac-Man? Packer's done, he's on ACC Network now.
Is he doing a Wes Durham?
Yeah. And he's got a show with him, and then he's on XM Radio, too, a national show there. So Packer's doing great. Packer, broadcasts from the basement of his house. I remember him telling me, he's like, man, I'm just tired of driving in Charlotte and doing stuff. I'm just going to do something from my house. I'm like, all right, well, good luck. And he is, darn it if he hasn't figured it out.
And he figured it out before the whole COVID situation.
Yes.
It's more prevalent now.
Now it's cool to do things from your home.
Yeah, now it's almost the norm.
He was ahead. We'll talk to him about that tomorrow. He was ahead of his time, Shirley. Also scheduled to appear, our old friend Nui Scruggs. Remember Nui? He used to have a national show on CBS Sports Radio. He is
good friend of Billy Weaver.
He is?
Yeah, he knows Billy.
Oh, okay. I
Where
forgot
have you
about
been?
that. I don't remember that detail. Nui is the top sportscaster in Dallas, Texas, so we'll get up to him. I think he's covering the Super Bowl for his TV station there, so we'll catch up with Nui. Also scheduled, I think we might have a Jeff Nadu, big man on campus.
Big man.
Appearance. And Igo scheduled to appear. Stephen Igo.
Are you going to say I going with us like you used to on Live at 5?
He'll be I going with us.
You remember that?
I did.
I said something not too long ago to Clip.
What did he say?
I was like...
Stephen I going with the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stephen I going with us. Remember you used to say that?
I did. Yes, I did. I haven't said it so long I forgot.
So he'll be joining us tomorrow?
Yeah. Okay. I plan to. Need to confirm. Schedule. That's why I said scheduled to appear. Card is subject to change, as they say in the wrestling business.
There has not been a lot of good news to talk about the last few stops that he's been here, and it will continue tomorrow.
Steven?
Yeah. With ECU basketball.
Yeah. Well, think he can pep us up?
Doubt it.
Yeah, me too.
With that monotone voice, doubt it.
I wonder how his family photo.
Family.
Oh, yeah. Last time we talked to him, he was doing a family photo.
I actually got my hopes up the other day that he would show up to the watch along, and he never did.
Yeah.
And I never realized it.
I think it's becoming a bit now where he intentionally has no intention of ever showing up to a.
But he always kind of hints at the
he
thought
might,
of
but
maybe
he
showing
won't
up.
show up. Yeah.
Yeah. Was that a tough game to do because it wasn't super competitive?
Yeah, I mean, we still gave it. It was fun. We were giving away.
Try.
Yeah, well, I mean, we were still giving away free prizes and stuff like that. Familia gift cards, tiebreakers, Pirate Radio swag. We had Tony Dunn with us.
I saw. And his hair. Maybe it's Tony's hair that's all over this place.
Well, he sat on that side.
And he sat on that side.
And
he wouldn't have been
tied
over
up
here.
in a bun, which is almost like a hairnet type of deal. Yeah.
So, I mean, it was brutal, but I mean, we made it interesting there.
Yeah. What else did you do this weekend besides your exciting watch along?
Just chilled at the house, or I went to tiebreakers and I watched the Carolina Duke game. at tiebreakers on Saturday. So,
Carolina got throttled,
and I was so excited.
By the Blue Devils.
I loved it. I loved every bit of it.
There's two groups of fans out there.
I mean,
there's Blue Devil fans and there's people that hate Carolina.
Yeah.
So those two fan bases united, and we're very happy Saturday night.
Yeah, I was very happy to see Carolina, and especially, I'm gonna be honest with you. I just learned today. I think when you were talking with DG, or maybe you talked about it first of all with Mully, but the F Coach K chants. I did not know about that.
It was. You could hear it when they were showing ESPN when they showed Coach K entering the court and coming out on the court. You could hear it clear as day.
And it was more than 100 fans. DG downplayed a little bit because
it was way more. It was probably
might
like
have gone
half
to Carolina,
the place.
but it was loud. It was thousands of fans.
Yeah, I watched the video a while ago during the break. It was very loud.
I'm just saying, low class move by Carolina fans.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing to hate the coach, because you're a Carolina fan. I mean, that's going to kind of come with the territory. But especially when you know that this is his last appearance, F Coach K is not what I would, I mean, it's one thing to boo him if he walks out there. Okay,
right,
fine.
Sure.
You can boo him.
I never expected them to do any type
but
of...
But is F Coach K the Carolina way? Evidently it is.
Well,
Apparently.
it shouldn't be.
Yes, it is.
It shouldn't be.
It is. That's the Carolina way, Shirley.
Well, it seems a little strange for the wine and cheese crowd.
Well, see, they don't know anything about class anyway.
Well done. Well done, sir.
Attending class, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
But I didn't expect them to do any kind of special ceremony for Coach K
with
the rivalry.
absolutely
But I
not.
also did not expect them to do disgusting.
Although that
act
would have
like
been super classy if they did. If they
It
gave them
would've,
like
yeah.
a recognition.
Yeah, that would have been classy. But I mean, I definitely did not
they
expect them
have to
to do
break
that
out a rocking
disgusting
chair, but they
act.
could have done something,
And the funny thing is that the coach for Carolina played against Coach K, as a player. I mean, Hubert Davis was, he was on one of those Carolina teams that would go head-to-head with Duke every year.
Yeah.
And
so is his assistant, Jeff Lebo.
Jeff Lebo was there. So I just find it interesting. Now, look, these are heated rivalries, and there's a lot of things that get said that probably should not ever, go up across radio or television airways. But you're going to be on ESPN. This is a national broadcast. This is a big game every year. They make a big deal out of the Battle of the Blues. As a fan base, I would be mortified as a fan base that they did something like that, and it was audible enough. It's one thing if you're chanting that during a commercial break and it's not on TV, but for that to be on television, that just...
I was offended by it, and as you guys know, I'm a little biased. I have a history with Coach K, as you guys know, and
You've hung out with him.
Relationship.
Well, I have a history with Coach K too.
Have asked him a question before. Well, probably the best. I would say. I was thinking about this. The top coaches I've had a chance to ask questions to or interact with. He's got to be in the top 5.
I would hope
to get a question to Coach K. That's pretty.
I almost interacted with him, but it
well, that was in a vehicle wreck. Stop trying to steal my thunder, Shirley.
No, I just said I almost interacted with him, and it would have been negative if I did, in fact, interact with Coach K.
And Coach K, as we know, I don't know if you have that cut pulled up, but loves the East Carolina fan base.
No,
and the East Carolina
I do not
fans.
have that.
And we found that out after I asked him that question about ECU when ECU was almost beat Duke in Cameron many years ago.
He liked the Pirate Nation.
Loves Pirate Nation.
He
I will
knows them
say this,
from
Coach
the beach.
K,
Shamrock,
I think Coach K, as a basketball coach, loves the scrappy, hungry teams, whoever they are. It doesn't have to be East Carolina, specifically, but any kind of basketball team that's just scrappy enough to give his team a test. I think deep down, just as a basketball coach, he loves that. He loves that chip on the shoulder, blue collar. I'm going to work my tail off to beat you type of. And a lot of his basketball teams were like that in the late '90s, early 2000s. They were that kind of hard nosed. They're more finesse players now. They're way more athletic, and they'll outrun you. I mean, this team runs the court up and down like what am I looking at? Cheetahs. They're real speedy players. They run up and down the court. There's not a lot of defense being played, so to speak.
Coming up at 6 o'clock tonight, if you're listening to our live edition or encore edition of the Brian Bailey Show, Brian caught up with former ECU coach Skip Holtz and talk about what he's up to nowadays. And this was Coach Holtz when he was asked about what are some things that come to mind when he thinks back to his time here in Greenville.
The people. Without a doubt, the people. We had 5 phenomenal years there in Greenville. I absolutely loved it, and the support of the fan base there at East Carolina. I remember when I first got there, there was very little attendance, and somebody said, well, they're all here. The city of Greenville's in the parking lot. They're just not coming into the stadium. It was like, we just got to build a product that they want to come in and watch it. But incredible following, support there at the university. The great town. I mean, everybody may knock it because it's small or whatever, but that's what I loved about it. It's about the people, and everybody's so friendly, and it's upbeat, and it's positive. I just really enjoyed my time there in Greenville.
All right, Skip Holtz, great interview with Double B today with him, and as I said, we'll encore that on the radio side of things coming up at 6 o'clock, and if you missed it, we have it archived on our website. We'll take our final time out. We'll come back, get ready to wrap things up for this edition of PRL. I'll ask you guys your favorite Super Bowl food. Find out. We'll get to know Shirley a little bit. Will she throw me something? I'm going to write down what I think you're going to say, and we're going to see if it matches up. Shirley, 20 years of being together here at Pirate Radio. Can I name your favorite Super Bowl food? What do you think?
I doubt it.
Me too. I doubt it too. I think it's something goofy, off a little strange.
Oh my God. Really?
Yeah.
Something goofy.
We'll find out right after this.
At Jersey Mike's, we take great satisfaction in getting that perfect meat slice. Yes. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Because slice to order makes a sub above. Alone, chicken, onions, peppers, and cheese have potential. Together, they have a purpose, a destiny, and a name. Jersey Mike's number 16 Chicken Philly. Because grilled to order makes a sub above.
I'm Michael Vaughn with East Coast Grading and Utilities. Many of you know my dad, David Vaughn, and his work in putting in subdivisions all over Pirate Nation. But East Coast Grading and Utilities is not just for those type of big jobs. We're here for the homeowners. Whether it's concrete, driveways, hauling rock, or sand, whatever you need, East Coast Grading and Utilities can get the job done. Call us at 252-531-7494 or check us out on Facebook at East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, pirates supporting pirates.
It's a new year, and we have some exciting news at Angel Oak Home Loans. This is Talbot Green, and I would like to introduce you to the newest member of our team, Braxton Green. I've known Braxton his entire life because he's my nephew. He is also a recent ECU graduate and has lived in Eastern North Carolina his entire life.
This is Braxton Green, and I'm looking forward to working with you with your next home loan or refinance. Give us a call at Angel Oak Home Loans today at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250 and 685842. Equal housing lender.
Do you have any real estate questions about buying or selling residential or commercial properties? Are you curious about this current real estate market? Do you need a property manager for all your rental houses? This is proud ECU alum Scott Harris with RE/MAX Preferred Realty and SD Harris Properties, and I would love to help answer every question you have and show you a real estate experience that will be memorable and enjoyable. Every step of the way, I'm here to make your dreams a stress-free reality. Call me today at 347-1857. That's 347-1857. Go Pirates.
Burgers, wings, hand-cut, hand-breaded chicken tenders, fresh salads, and cold beer is the starting lineup at Tiebreakers and has been keeping customers happy for 20 years. Tiebreakers family atmosphere is the perfect place to come watch your favorite team play while enjoying a great lunch or dinner. In a hurry or looking for catering options? Get Tiebreakers to go. That now includes the new curbside pickup by ordering online at tiebreakersnc.com. Tiebreakers.
If you like the look, if you like the style, you'll love it for less at Bostic Sugg Furniture. We make it so easy to bring style and beauty to every room in your home. And today, get store-wide savings on brands you love with hundreds in stock and ready for you. Pamper yourself on a new Serta Arctic mattress and get 2 free Arctic pillows. Plus, 48 months special financing with no minimum purchase. Now at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
I can't think of anyone who doesn't love a clean car, but how often do you actually go to the car wash? Does it take too long, or maybe it's just not a very nice place? Tommy's Express changes everything. Our wash is bright, inviting, clean, and fast.
I love the flat conveyor belt. So easy to pull onto, much smoother ride, and safer for my car.
And when you join Tommy Club, you can wash as often as you like for one low monthly price.
I save money and time.
We're Tommy's Express.
At the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road, Greenville.
Pirate radio sounds different.
Different is good. You are all the same, you'll be ashamed.
Because different is good.
Oh yeah.
Pirate radio.
This hour of PRL is brought to you by Tommy's Express Car Wash. Come experience the difference at Tommy's. Now open at the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road. Doesn't your car deserve it? Visit Tommy's Express Car Wash today. Now back to the show.
Welcome back. Take a look at your stock market report. The Dow was up a point and closed at 35,091. The NASDAQ was down 82 at 14,015, and the S&P slipped 16 points and finished out the day at 4,483. That's your Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC. Now let's head back into the show. Here's Troy.
All right, I stayed really positive today. I did not let the cold rain get me down. Kept the energy high. Didn't go outside once to let it depress me.
I was going to ask you this. Also noticing that it's getting lighter later.
It is.
Or it's staying lighter.
Yeah, and we're about a month out. We're about a month away from the time changing.
Because I agree with you on that.
Then it'll stay light even an hour later than now.
I agree with you on that.
The
100%.
Are naturally getting longer every day.
Love it.
And
Do we not agree?
It'll be 100% longer. Well, not 100%.
I mean,
it'll be a lot longer, an hour longer, I should say.
It will be getting dark around 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, it's summertime. But it's probably, let's see, sunset right now is
around 6 o'clock, 5:45.
Yeah, 5:45, and probably, and then you have it stays light a little bit longer after that. So let's just call it at 6. It'll then be 7 a month from now. You all right, Shirley?
Yeah, I just ran my knee into this thing.
It happens.
Careful.
I didn't realize I was that close to it.
Well,
I just went to turn my chair and I ran my
all right, easy. All right, as we said, Super Bowl coming up. Did you write your Super Bowl food down, Shirley?
I've got it right here, Troy D.
All right, I'm going to predict what Shirley's favorite Super Bowl food is.
Okay.
And Shirley's a little different now, unique.
As Jeff Charles would say, I'm a different breed of cat.
Yeah, you can be a weird one sometimes. In a good way. I know. You embrace your weirdness. I think
Ask me if I care.
All right, so I'm going to go, not the traditional you're not going to pick something that's so obvious, like wings or something that's too generic for my girl Shirley Rhodes. Am I right about that? Am I right about that?
I'm not answering yes or no.
No, there's no way you're just going to pick, wings, because everybody picks wings.
Well, I don't typically have wings at my Super Bowl parties.
Okay, well, I've got it down to 2, which I think could be possible.
Wait a minute now. We said one thing.
I know.
Why are you going with 2?
Just thinking that you would potentially like both these.
God.
I've got it down to jalapeno poppers, potentially, or...
Good guess.
Or nachos.
Oh, close.
You were very close.
Close.
If I've got it down to those two as possibilities.
Survey says chips and salsa.
Oh, that's nachos.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Because
that
nachos
counts in the world of nachos.
There is no cheese.
That's the
There's
nacho
no
family.
cheese. There's no jalapenos.
Ground beef.
There's no ground beef. Nachos, it requires much more than just salsa.
Chips and cheese is the cousin of nachos. All right, well, we're in the ballpark. So, there you go. I do know my Shirley Rhodes.
You were close.
You were close.
Yeah.
You were close. I do like my chips and salsa because usually what I do is when I have a Super Bowl party, it's potluck. Somebody, each person brings something. But I always provide the chips and salsa because I'm picky about the type of salsa I eat.
Chandler, I already know wings for you.
Wings.
You love wings.
Wings.
I've seen this guy eat wings. And by the way, no more food in the studio.
Why?
Because, one, we have a no food in the studio rule, which you violated over the weekend.
We all ate, and we done it every time for a watch
And you're
along.
violating the rules. Eat in the kitchen.
Jeez.
And you eat like an animal. And you got the sauce all over you. It's disgusting.
You're taking this way out of proportion.
I got wing sauce over here. Nobody cleaned up.
Well, I didn't sit there.
I got hair all over the table. It's a hot mess in here.
As you would say, this isn't a frat house.
Exactly. All right, great show today, guys. Appreciate you being here. I'll be back tomorrow to do it all over again. As I said, a great show lineup for tomorrow. Scheduled to appear. Mark Packer, the Pac-Man, Newey Scruggs, Jeff Nadeau, Stephen Igo, just to name a few. And until we greet you next time for another edition of PRL, I'm Troy D. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.